Sup, YouTubers? I know I was on live before and that I ended the live stream, but okay. And I could have just made a video instead of going live, but the reason why I do the live is because, I don't have to sit there and aim the camera at the cats and, it's just easier. I just put the phone down and just talk. But there's something really in it's in my head, in my noggin. Right, now I got my noggin, right? It's in my head. And it's something I gotta get it out because I did make a video last night, but I couldn't figure out how to post it. So if anybody knows how, it's through StreamYard, and it's when you record, but you record live stream, your own live stream, and it seems like, hey, Mr. Rourke, you go what? Mr. Rourke, I gotta get something off my chest. I got to. We're not talking about boobs right now, right? um, I just have to. I didn't even check to see if I had any typos in my title either. It's probably all messed up. Uh, yeah, on my mind, I do. I got something on my mind that it's burning a hole in me because it's been in my mind a while, a long time, and I try to not make. I try to pick topics and not be drama on my channel. And uh, I really did try to. I deleted a lot of videos that were, anything with me drama or anything. I tried to keep more positive and all that. Okay, and but I'm watching something unfold, and you were there. Are you still here? Um, but anyhow, I have to tell you, I really do like Bob, and I'm sorry. I know that lately she's got some people in an uproar. I like her because I was watching her live stream back, and I do understand where the generation of there's a generation 10 years above mine, but I still fall kind of into it too with the same mindset. Um, is there another live going on? Just tell me if you're like modding, even though it says there. Why does it do that? What are you like a ghost? Because it doesn't. It's fine. I'm getting this out of my head. Um, so yeah, on my mind. Um, Bob was saying, that I like her because okay, we were talking about I understand the generation, even my generation, of having a hard time of things that they've said becoming public knowledge on social media, and um, but I can also see where Babos comes from when she's saying, but she's not even like saying it, but basically, this is what I think. This is something I could be wrong, but I like it in her is that she's saying, not saying, indicative of, I guess, right? That don't say the stuff about someone if you can't say it to everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, that's what I'm seeing is that she's brave, brave in the sense that now here's the thing, like here's the difference because I um I guess I still also am in that generation of where I don't want to stir up the pot. But I'm also in the mindset of on your own show, you are allowed to give your opinion. Her own crew turned on her. Okay, but Mr. Roy, they were also at some point, they were people who were my friends and they did the same thing. And when you ever know a situation where someone, say there's two people, right? They do the same exact thing, and one person gets, support and encouragement, everybody is, whatever. And then there's another person who could do the same thing and um, they get berated for it. It's the same thing. Like it could be anything. It could be if, you know, somebody did something and everybody said, oh, they said it, and everybody would say, no, they didn't. But if everybody said they said it, they'd say, oh, yeah, yeah, she would. I don't know if it's something in my personality that when I was saying how wrong things were that went on to me on that same chance that I've been through, I've told people how everybody watched it unfold. Now here's the kicker. I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer when it occurred to me. Like I wasn't diagnosed after it was already occurring. It occurred, days after I was diagnosed and thought I had a support system, a support group, people who cared about what my um, results were, you know? No, I did have my own channel, yes, but not live stream, not live stream. And, um, but still, I have like those mods that are there. I understand their attachment to the channel because they've been there a long time, and um, he does talk about things that are interesting, like books and birds and things like that. He does have interesting topics, and when he's talking, it's not. But there was a time when his videos were different. I haven't watched them in a while. I'm not even talking about the live streams now. When I started watching that channel, it was a a couple of years ago, and he was making the transition from just he was doing he was just driving around Detroit, and you know how there's a lot of abandoned buildings. He was just filming from his car and talking, and because I had searched for abandoned buildings or the worst neighborhoods in America or something like that. Well, he never told me anything, Mr. Rourke. And that is, now you have to, wait, I mean, I gotta break this down. I don't know if you've ever gone back through my channel, but okay, so like I said, I've been going to his channel for a long time before, like, even when it was a lot years. So those people, those mods who are there, they've actually been there. They're consistent. Um, and I was a uh like a regular face there. You know what I'm saying? And then made a mod. So I can't wrap my head around that when it unfolded to me and what was happening to me. I didn't only become public and hey, but the Jamie night, huh? And what kills me is I didn't only get ostracized from that community. I was like ostracized from every community. I was on everybody's lips as faking cancer, Munchausen syndrome. You know how it felt for me to be going to chemo and trying to prove to be harassed if I would take a ride to see my daughter. I better have answers where my money's go. And every single one of them was like saying she just wants to play the race. She's ranting and raving. She and um and I'm not saying Bobbles because she wasn't around then, um that's why I like her because she actually has something that whenever she's being brave enough to point out and say something. And I wanted to say that V person, and Ace will know was her, and they and that there's some, and I don't like to mention names. You'll notice that, but Ace, when there was a particular channel, they do the same thing at kind of as Tom, and I mean, what happened there was so shocking to me, and still nobody really has said to them, um, what about what you did? That they made my GoFundMe page go stagnant, stagnant by everyone making videos that I had Munchausen syndrome and I don't and those voice recording. We call the hospital. She's faking cancer. She doesn't even have cancer. She's doing this to get money. So now everybody's arguing about, this, this channel where they're, the one that Bob was, I think she's the only one I'm saying her name because it's not that, and I'm not saying that everything about the other, but I'm not real happy with other people. So I'm just saying I'm trying to protect people, or not protect, but I just don't want to. I'd rather just say, whatever. If I something kind, okay, I'll say it. The bottom line is, here they all are, and you know none of them. Yes, you do know them. Mr. Rourke, you do. Ace, she knows, who all the mods were in Tom's room, and I'm not saying they all were bad to me, but I'm saying that when he was, he actually had a live stream where he was kicking people off. If you go back through his live streams, the recordings, do you know that all trace of me is erased? Now that was 3 days after he had. Now usually, I try to please give me at least recognition that I try to base my live streams on topic, and this is the one I really will not do this again, but I'm doing it because it's burning a hole inside of me, and it has been for so long. And now to see somebody who's, brave enough to come out and start pointing this out, and everybody acting like, oh, what a surprise. It wasn't a surprise. And it was. To me, that was horrible. Everybody's, putting, yelling at Bob, and some people are supporting her for saying, somebody saying, about the, that was, it was with CETA. What he did to me was, it was 3 days after he mailed me those magnets. Okay? So, and they were always so concerned. And he's very engaging, and the whole crew was very supportive, and we'll be your support. Blah, blah, blah. Okay? And I'm not letting anybody down. And I'm not saying the whole crew. I don't mean the whole crew when I say that. It's wrong. But I go in there, and and it was the day that I went to get the biopsy results, when they had checked the lymph nodes to see if I was stage 2 or stage 3. And I go in, and he had been having these live streams during the afternoon, which was great because that was great for me because I was working at the time, so I would miss the nighttime one, and so the afternoon ones were great because when I would go to my appointment, um, you know, I would go to my appointments and come back and have people who I thought cared about me there. It was always like every time I saw him go live in the afternoon, a couple of times I'd asked him to. So when he started to, it was like I thought he was a friend. Let's put it that way. I thought he was a friend, and I thought a couple of those people, and I'm not saying everybody, I'm just saying were my friends. And so anyway, so I get the news it's not stage 2, it's stage 3. So I want to definitely talk, right? Now, I go on, and I'm blocked. And they were all laughing, saying technical difficulties, technical difficulties. I didn't get blocked the night that Jamie was on there. You were, yeah, I wasn't blocked when Jamie was the Jamie interview, but you told me that in that other live stream that you repeated. Really? I didn't know that. I'll bet you, but when you go to war, like you and Bob have, you find out who your friends are. Yeah, and you do. Yeah, you do. But he was laughing, and he said technical difficulties, and people were laughing. And let me tell you something. I threw up, and I hate to admit that, but I'm gonna admit that that was like the one physical reaction. Yep, I threw up, and after that, then somebody, what's her name? Okay, and you guys know who I'm talking about. Okay, um, she does the same thing as Tom, but in this area, kinda. Okay, I just don't want to say names because I don't want to be attacked. And that person reached out to me and was like, "Oh, I'm starting a channel." I got blocked from his channel too. Um, but you'll notice a lot of their videos now are called Chosen One Inspired. Okay, so and that's okay. But and here's another thing too. He had told me days before. I even have the text message to say it where it said, "Use my name because I'm already up in the algorithm." Blah blah blah. Right? Next, what's he doing? He's complaining that I use the name and calling me a loser and all this shit. And so anyway, this particular person, said, and then you can talk to your friends from that channel, in my channel, and all this shit. Okay, I start promoting out this person's channel like feverishly. A lot of those people that are in their chat room, I brought there, and people will tell you I shared the link with them. And so here I am making a shout out video to them. That person is going around telling people I was running a racket. I have Munchausen disease, and everybody should get their money back. Literally sent a text to my, so I know it wasn't a clone. It's from their own phone number. Sent me a text message saying, They want everybody's money back. I was running a racket. Okay? Now that was the moment that for some reason all these clones, SG's bra, SG's car, SG, she got, exactly, but every, and that was the moment that all that shit starts strange. They start giving this V person the platform. Now, Mr. Rourke, you do know who that I'm talking about when I say this V person, because that's the person Babo said gave her number out. Remember, she was complaining that somebody that she used to have on her panel gave her number out. That person, and Ace knows who I'm talking about, has been harassing me nonstop for the last 3 years. And these people don't even have the sense. And I'm not talking about Baba because she wasn't around. I'm talking about a lot of people that they've known I was in this community for a long time, right? That's Bigfoot. These people I've known in this community for a long time, they know that if someone was being stalked, then why would this person who's being stalked start coming to their community? You see what I'm saying? I mean, obviously, the stalker would be coming, and the person who's already there is the stalkee. But these people were like, oh, it's so terrible what she's doing to him. It's so terrible. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It's logic. And I couldn't believe it. Can you give me 1 second? I just got to blow my nose. Give me 1 second. Mr. Rourke, absolutely. What you just said, and I have pinned on the screen, is so true, and nobody cared. And I'm not saying, that the people, yeah, they knew that was wrong. He was talking about killing me. Killing me. And these people who were my friends from CW went there and were supporting him. And so now they sit there and Bobbles, and they get mad when Bobbles is talking about somebody that they like. Like, how she was saying, um, you know, oh, but if it was somebody that they didn't like, it would be fine that, she was expressing her opinions, but because it's somebody that they like, and that's when I piped up and said, she's right, because that is absolutely true, because they all sat there and they knew from the last, they knew, everyone knew that this person had a wither away and die bitch. That's why he was running. And he had it up for 3 or 4 months. Wither away and die bitch. And he was photoshopping my face to look like I was dead. I mean, he would sit, and they would all sit there while he's saying, she doesn't have cancer. She's holding a piece of paper up in front of the bed. She's doing this, she's doing that. And even the woman that had, I had shared her channel out feverishly from, she's there. She's bringing him up on her live streams, letting him reach a broader. So, CW, letting him into his live streams, reaching this huge, you know, he was letting him go in there as Survivor Man 2020. Okay, he's got what, 170,000 subscribers, right? And goes on, allows this guy to go on there saying I was doing this and that and fake, and then CW goes, runs a live stream kicking anybody off his live stream that he ever saw giving me any kind of support, kicking them off. Okay, now here's a little interesting thing. Those people that, if they're at this one, where the woman, no, I know, not, I know, yeah, right. I mean, sorry, I didn't. He said a lot of people went on his channel, not me. Yeah, but Ace is right, because I feel like, you're a trustworthy person, Mr. Rourke, and I know I haven't known you long, but um, you're consistent, and I don't know, you seem very nice, and you're polite, and you seem very respectful. You know, I sense, that you're who you. Well, I know you're not Mr. Rourke. I go, who you say you are, is about to say, as if you're really Ricardo Montalban over there. That would be kind of funny. But so yeah, so here's all these channels giving this person that was telling people I was faking cancer a venue. Other channels start making videos about, they start doing fake voice recordings of, like, I don't know what this whole gig was, um that I mean, like, I would really sit there, Survivor girl does not have cancer. Like, I would talk robotic like that. We called the hospital. We found out she does not have cancer. First of all, no hospital is going, and um, people that are, using like normal are like, oh, that did sound like you though. It did sound like you, and I'm like, why would I make a fake channel and talk about myself in the third person like a robot? I mean, come on now. Yeah, I don't mind if you listen. I don't. I appreciate the fact that you guys are here, and I know that there's a few that are listening, and right, exactly. Ace, they, and I did find out a lot of people that were, my true friends, and I, prudently, Ace, it's just, you learn to know people like your Mini Mont. There's quite a bit. I'm gonna say a lot more than it's, you know, you guys make YouTube better than, good, as opposed, it's not, the bad is not outweighing the good. Let me try to say, yeah, you know, um, there's more good. So I'd be lost without you guys, because I feel I don't. Where am I going? Where am I getting all these people say, "Oh, live stream talk, blah blah blah," right? Why not? I mean, that's what we're supposed to do. At least I'm um, doing what the COVID instructions say, at least, right? Plus, where am I going to go? I'm like, I really am going to sit somewhere with no eyelashes, no eyebrows, and no hair. And what? I'm not. Okay? I like you guys. This is where I want to be, you know? Yeah, this is where I want to be. I don't mind talking to people about, and I wish, I wish I could hear you guys talking too. I mean, if you want to come up on the screen, you guys can. Absolutely. I could drop the link and you could try it over again if you want, Ace or Mr. Rourke, if you like to just come in, and if you don't, whatever. I'll put the link there and anybody can consider it, but it's okay if you don't, because I am like, um, just kind of venting, and I wanted to get it out because it bothers me so badly when I don't hear, um, yeah, it is like being on the phone, isn't it? um, I keep waiting for somebody to say to, and I know like with CW, if somebody said, oh, well, what about, Survivor Girl? Like they're not gonna say, but there is like one particular place that I would just love to see somebody say, and I'm not talking about the V person, not at all, but it's the person who let him in. You know, I was shocked to see all the, the majority. Um, so okay, I get that he's a shit bum. He's a shit bum. I can imagine you saying that. You're so funny. um, what was I? Oh my god! When I saw these people over there, the one that particular channel of the, the V, I was in shock. That made no sense to me. I cannot believe that, you know, that was a mind blower, a real mind blower. And then I kind of felt bad, when first you would see when he would be, at Bob's, and she would be, I hear echoing, I hear, and he'd go, oh, hey Juan, how are ya? And I'm not a serial killer. That's good to know. um, and and I'm all about forgiving people too. I know I'm not. I was going to say something about my earbuds. I went straight to StreamYard. I was going to it, said something about earbuds. I went to StreamYard. What do you mean coming up here on here? Oh, it says it, but you don't have to wear earbuds. It just says you could if you wanted to. Now, if you don't want to be on camera and you would just want your avatar or whatever, um, you just um, you just in the middle when you get to the back of it, before you hit enter, go live or whatever, you there should be three little things. It should show mic, camera, and then something else. But you hit the middle one that says camera, and it will turn it pink with an X through it. And then that's if you don't want your face, you just want like that on there. So yeah, it's and then it will come on my screen. It should show me a little like a guest wants to get in. Wanna doses. Welcome. Mm, yeah. So I'm just shocked because I was watching this live stream, and it happens to be it was about like the person that um the that there's a little rift going on with Bottles and this other person. So I was looking at the other person because I had heard that there was some you know body shaming and going on and all that. Now, yeah, that is pretty. That was, yeah, I did find that out of line, and that was on the other. It was on Bobbles. Um, because I do agree with what Bob was saying about, um, you know, it doesn't. Here's the thing. Oh, here we go. Oh, one of those. It says, oh, it doesn't give me the opportunity. It says edit name. Oh, he must have. Oh, he was gonna come in, but then he didn't, I guess. Um, well, if anybody does want to, whenever the guys want to, just go right ahead. But so anyhow, this particular. Oh, I if you don't know who that is, who one doses or the other person that. Oh, well, Ace, you wouldn't know. The do you know Bobbles? The I know that you don't know, but you do know the some of the people that go there. So you could go there and probably like it. I thought that the other night, was it last night when they were trying to get yeah, but it's still here. Oh, hey, what is going on here? Why isn't it letting anybody in? I don't know if it's me or if it's them, but it's not giving me the opportunity to say allow guests. It's saying try again, but don't click off or whatever. I don't know. Okay, so Baba's will talk about, she does topics too, but, hers are more adult, like, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink. So, but they're pretty good, So, it's called Babbling with Babos. She's good. And last night, Terry was on there. It was funny. It was funny, let's just say, the chat was going funny. But I guess prior to that, some kind of situation had happened. And she was saying about giving money. Oh, you blocked your mic. No, block the middle one where it says camera. No, no, not highway. It's Tommy Highway. No, 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 not him. He doesn't go to Babbling and Bobbles. He doesn't go there. Terry, Secular Human. Terry, the one who come up on my screen sometimes on my piano. He goes to Bobbles too, and he'll go up on her piano. And they were busting his ass last night. It was just funny. This horrible puppy is chewing everything. That was nice having Tommy Highway though here. Yeah, but Terry, yeah, oh my God, they were so funny. They were like really, they're like, oh, dance for us, do this, do that. Now take your, but it was in the chat. It wasn't Bobbles who was saying it. It was, they were really funny. You will probably like it. They are comical. But she had some, kind of uh, a little tiff going on, with the couple of the mods from Chosen, CW. And so it was a big, big thing. So if you go and you watch the replay, which is, hi Kat, how are you? Oh, you're from Bobbles, right? I'm pretty sure. And I like your avatar. That is the cutest little thing I ever saw. Tommy Highway was cool. He was nice. It's always nice when he stops in. Um, yeah, currently is nice too. Yeah, I try to keep it like, I'm glad you're here, Kat. That's so nice of you. Stopping by. Were you there last night when they were, oh, hey, 2003? You were there. I thought it was so funny last night when they were telling, secular dance. Now do what? now do, Now throw a little water on your shirt. Now unbutton the top button. Now do this. But he wasn't doing it, but it was just so funny. Oh my God, the look on his face. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. Ah, no, you mustn't be clicking the right one because it is not giving me the, I mean, are you clicking maybe you need, I don't know. I don't know, Mr. Rourke, what's going on. Yes, it was very funny. It was very funny last night. It's cool when you are reading stuff and you laugh out loud because I like live streams that are funny like that. And so they were so busting his ass. So I was saying though, about what she's, angry about going on, and I was explaining to Ace how I was watching the replay of both of those live streams. How are all of you doing? I'm so sorry. Here I am just rambling on because I keep wanting to get my words. Let me get here, right? I watched the replay of both those live, and my initial complaint here was I was talking about how the shit I took about my GoFundMe page and so much shit I took. So I'm watching this live stream. And now it's not Bobbles, it's the other one that she's, talking about. And and don't get me wrong, I like that person, the one with the T, right? Okay? I do. I've always got, yeah, I know. I was glad I finally spoke up on there because I stopped in a couple of times, but I was too nervous to say anything because of all that shit. But Mr. Rourke, I hope you're still here because I know you had a hard time trying to get in. So I hope you didn't say forget it. But anywho, I saw in that live stream of the other person. First of all, they were doing quite a bit of, talking about ice cream and body shaming and stuff like that. And I don't think what Bobbles is. Oh, I'm sorry that it says restart your device. If you want to, you can, but that's up to you. I mean, completely. Um, I mean, I would love to have you on the channel. I'd love to. Wouldn't everybody love to hear what Mr. Rourke sounds like? I would. If you were a girl, I would be so shocked. I'd be like, oh my God, Mr. Rourke is a girl. And here I am developing a little crush. So, so I just didn't think that the body shaming was a legit response to, you could be angry and you can, respond to something that somebody is saying, but at least respond with like a response. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just, and then, and then everybody in the chat room there was saying, oh, let's try this. Oh my God, it's still not letting you. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, I dropped out to check out some other live streams. I seen it to listen and get them out of the down. I'm not getting it. I'm trying, and I've been holding back because, and I told these guys at the beginning of the live stream, and I'm sorry, Mr. Rourke, that you're having such trouble. I don't know what it is. Usually I don't have any trouble with guests getting in. But the only reason why I felt the need to talk about it. I know, I'm so sorry. Um, is because it's been burning inside me for a while. And what I went through with these people and tried to say, and then how I got ostracized basically at a time when I really needed, my friends the most. And I had told them I don't want to repeat the whole situation like how CW did what he did to me. But, if you rewatch, you see, like, but I also said it on Follows, I think, the other night about how it was done. So maybe you caught that. Um, so anywho, so I see now here's, you mind you, here I am watching somebody whose GoFundMe page grew, like died because people were saying I was laundering money through it. I was, faking cancer. I had Munchausen, all this crap. Okay. And I'm watching somebody who, here's this live stream. These people are saying, you can do what you want with your money, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Fine. Maybe true, right? But then goes over to an ATM machine and goes, in fact, I'm going to go to the ATM right now and take out 80 bucks. Right? Now, there'll be no backlash, I'm sure, for that. I could guarantee you, though, if I ever did that, I mean, just today in a live stream, I saw people saying, "Oh, did you see?" Well, see, because that's what you're blocking is your mic and your cam. You're only supposed to do the one in the middle, not the one. There's three choices. It's mic and cam, audio, or cam, or mic or cam. But it's in the middle. It's just the cam. That's all you want to do. Cheers. Well done, Mr. Rourke. Next time better. Show how encouraging. That's so sweet. um, but so all I'm saying is, like I was saying before, either sometimes two people could do this, something is someone else can just it's fine and dandy. And me here I really I want right? It does. But it wasn't funny when like here I was going to chemotherapy and trying to prove I'm doing chemo. And my whole support group that I thought were my friends fucking just punched me in the gut. Punched me in the gut when I got diagnosed with cancer. 3 days into it, done. Boom. Then 1 month later, it it gets like community wide. They're giving this person a platform that were somebody who was telling people I was faking cancer and I was laundering my. I mean, the stress of being basically ostracized. Like very few, any video I would get comments calling me cue ball. Don't worry about it, cue ball. You'll be dead soon anyway. Like that is so. And to see it like now being the yeah I right and I appreciate that cat. Um, now what I'm seeing, I've seen this whole big thing, like, so she told the people how she handled it. And did that good which said it was so they wouldn't get hurt. I mean, that makes sense. That's fine. But all I'm saying is if I went just tonight, somebody was saying, I heard SG is losing her home. I'll give you my number later. SG, you're so funny. Um, yeah, so somebody says, I heard SG is losing home, which isn't true. I was just like making a video, like how, too bad I'm not this next and I could have disability. I get disability. I'm not putting anybody down that's getting it. I'm just saying I think it's fucked what they're doing to me. I'm not talking about YouTube now. I'm talking about that now. But somebody says, well, maybe she shouldn't have gotten, StreamYards. Maybe she blah, blah, blah. I mean, like, okay, so on the flip side, this other person can do whatever they want with their money and, blah, 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 right? I mean, so I wanted to address it because I've been holding in for a while. And now that I'm seeing that Bobbles is brave enough to start pointing things out, now I wanted to say once again that this shit was happening to me. And it was fucking trying, and it was hurtful, and it was cruel. And I think, you know, oh, I mean, like, okay, there was somebody. Now I'm watching this unfold, what you guys are watching, and I'm thinking, okay, but I know things that have happened to me by these particular people, and I'm like, wow, you're such a hypocrite. You know? Somebody who was on there, and they're going on and on and on. And I'll tell you what, I talked on the phone with this person for a while, and one day they were like talking about, they were saying something, and they said, oh, you're just paranoid, okay? Now, I don't know about you guys, but I know everybody saw a certain V person consistently talking smack about me for a long time. And just because you're paranoid doesn't mean somebody's not out to get you. All right, but I'm not paranoid. It was real. Next thing, this person is on their channel, friends with them, everything, telling them in comments, I want to apologize to you, blah, blah, blah. Well, now that they've seen that light, where's my apology? And they were yelling and screaming, saying that this particular person should apologize, that Bobble should apologize. You should apologize. You should apologize to this person. Where's my apology? Because you know what? That was fucking cruel. What that same person did to me, like telling somebody else they should apologize, they should do this. Oh, well, you hurt my feelings. Oh, yeah, I know. You know what? You hurt my feelings. I got some pretty, you just dropped me like a fucking hot potato and went with the mass of people that were being so fucking cruel. And I just had to get it out. I had to get that shit out because when I heard too, like that, another person who was a mod from CWs, and I heard like her mouth, like her mouth was bad. Her mouth was bad. I was like, oh wow. I was a little shocked because I thought her mouth was venomous. And and Bobbles was just like, well, you know, more or less like, well, then don't say shit if you're not gonna say it out and out. And that is at the end of the day, that's the message. That's the end of that's the fucking moral of the story. You know, don't talk about somebody if all of a sudden, if it could, come out. And if you can't stand by what you said, you're just going to turn on your friends and start screaming and swearing at them. So basically, well, why? I thought you meant it and it was okay for public display, right? I mean, stand by your convictions, have integrity, just basically be a good person. And I don't think that any of that is hard. I think it's all right. And I'm sorry I fell into a little drama thing there, but I had to get it out because what I'm seeing unfold is so familiar to me. And it's not new. It's nothing. It's not. It's nothing new. That's what I just was shocked that it was. You know, when I came home from getting the biopsy, the fucking see if it was stage one or stage. I mean, stage two or stage three. I can go on there, go to talk, technical difficulties, and I was like, it was like I had leprosy or something. I was cast off the island. Sorry if I bored you guys. I just wanted to get it out. What's the weather like where you are today, CW? Yes, but I did enjoy Babo's chat. She is very funny, and I think that you will like it, um, Ace, because she's got a lot of interesting topics, and they're more adult oriented. It's not. It wasn't about being blocked. It was about how it was done, and then what occurred after. That whole letting you know yeah, it was crazy. Oh, here we go. Look at this, you guys. Hi,
Hello.
Mr. Rourke.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
It sounds like you have an accent, kinda.
Does I sound like I'm from Michigan?
No, you sounded a little English at first.
No.
Introducing Mr. Rourke. Have you been on panels before?
No.
Your first time?
Yep.
Wow, look at this. Ace says, hi, Mr. Rourke. Now, can you see when it's pinned on the screen at least? Because I try to pin the comments on
Um,
screen so that you can read them if you want to. It's up to you. Everything included last night with the fun crew. Tracy surviving the night with her friends.
yeah,
Aw.
I can see what you're posting up there.
Yeah, I do that so that he does have a nice voice, right? Everything included. This is Mr. Rourke's
Thank you.
first time popping his live stream cherry. I feel bad that I was, bitching at first tonight, on this particular live stream, but I had to get it out
Why do you feel bad about it?
because I try not to. I don't want people to think that I'm that I do drama, but it's not. It wasn't drama like to me. It was real life. You know what I mean? Because it was causing me to have like stress, which lowers your immunity, and you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so it was, it's not like I was all like, oh, YouTube effect, but it was affecting my health, and it was affecting. It was like a character assassination, and I didn't. I try to be nice, but. I just don't want anybody to think that I'm normally like that. Like I said, I didn't mention names. I try not to mention names and everything. I had to just get it out. I was just venting.
I think that's best for your health because holding it in it just harbors the stress.
exactly. And I had to keep going back for shots after chemo because if your your white blood cell count is low, and that is caused by stress. And I had to keep going back for shots, and it was throwing me up because, you know, when I hate to like say it, but because of the disability stuff and everything, and my daughter did the GoFundMe page because, I really, needed help, like kind of, you know what I'm saying? And other
Exactly.
people do it for funerals and they, you know what I mean? I didn't know that if my daughter, I mean, she's a very responsible person. She's not, she's good person. She's a productive citizen of society. So it was an insult to her too, them saying we were laundering money and so crazy. Now what I'm seeing unfold, and I watch somebody and they go to the ATM and they go, I'm gonna get out $80. I would never, just out of, my own set, I would never push that in people's, like, I find that, like kind of an insult to any, do it in private. You want to go, don't go, you know?
With her, that's her own show, and she can do what she wants on her show. I see your points that you've made, and I agree with your points. I agree with the points that Bubbles made. Um, did she
I
work
agree
for
with
her?
Bobbles.
Does she work for the subs? And in the end, it really don't matter to me. I'll watch her show.
Well, I don't know if
Um,
you know I'm talking about the other live stream. I'm not talking about Bobbles.
oh, I know whose show you're talking about.
Okay.
Um, uh,
And I like her too, don't get me wrong.
yes. I kind of think, I don't know either one of them personally, but from watching, I kind of enjoy Bobbles' uh, format a little bit better. Um, it's I'm kind of like interested. Why did Sharon get the itch to interview, uh, Maddie, other people, and where's she gonna take this? But that's like
That's
you
a good
know
question.
that's why what we do is we watch and we see, and because the reason why I say that is because when she goes into rehab, what's going to happen to her channel when she's gone? That's going to be at least a good month that she'll be gone.
That's true. And she can't like record, right? From that.
Yeah, I don't think the rehab center is going to be like, well, yeah, take out your phone and go ahead and do your YouTube channel.
Although it would probably be a good idea if they let somebody do that.
Did you hear her say that Chosen One is going to drop her off at the rehab?
I did hear her say that, yeah. And maybe, he's not that bad of a person, I'm sure. And I like Sharon as well. I don't talk on her channel or ever comment or anything because of the fact that, what happened with Chosen One. And I don't think I'm welcome there. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm just not even gonna attempt. Like I didn't even know if I was at Bobbles either because I felt so ostracized. Thank you, Cashew Pitbull. I appreciate that. I think because of eight HIPAA laws and other patients, that would be very hard for her to use her phone or to broadcast YouTube and keep channel active. I mean, I don't know about the whole logistics and the legalities of it all. I just mean it would be interesting for them to allow somebody to like vlog, baby. I think do you have your live stream playing in the background, Mr. Work?
No, I don't.
Because I'm getting like a little. Okay, and I'm not now. It's good. Okay. Um, yeah, I think it would be interesting to watch, whether it was her or somebody else. I think it would be a maybe something that would be good to see somebody's. I've never seen what they do in rehab and how they um fix somebody in rehab.
Um, I would never want to watch that. It's a lot of moodiness. It's a lot of sweating. It's a lot of puking. Uh, it's a lot of upset stomachs, and that's just the
Well, I
first
didn't
part.
mean all that.
What have you ever heard? Have you ever heard them say, "Quitting's like kicking the flu"? In the beginning, it's like you're sick with the flu.
I have. I know that there's like, physical things that go on. But I meant kind of, yeah, I guess people would need to see that, but not but then maybe see how long that lasts. How long does that last?
Oh, okay. So listen, it lasts for at least a week. It depends on how. Okay, she's been using for 25 years, so due to her tolerance, it's gonna last easily for a week, and then after that, it's gonna start to slow down. But what's gonna happen is when she gets control and starts to feel better, then what happens is that you can't sleep, and you have it's almost like you're fiending for the opiates and your brain is now fiending for it, not your body, because your body has already kicked the physical withdrawals of like the stomach cramping, the muscle cramping, the headaches. But now when you try to lay down and go to sleep, you can't
Yep.
sleep at all. And this could last up to like 20 to 30 days. Then after that, if you can make it to that and get to that part, then you have to go ahead and whenever you're around other people, you still have temptation there, and then you still have to kick it for the rest of your life. Because if you go back one time, it's a relapse, and who knows, you could go ahead and OD, and then that's the end of your life.
Right. Now, do you think it would be better for these rehab programs to have them go through that feeling of the flu for the week and then also probably stay for the 30 days that you were saying, right? And without giving what is methadone or like any other compensating thing that
Okay,
they could end up for the rest of their life.
so what happens is that once you start taking the heroin and you go to the rehab center, they're going to either put you on methadone or Suboxone. Now, what happens with most people is instead of using that methadone and Suboxone to get off the heroin, and I'm only talking like a couple pills, a couple of times. What happens is they get uh, dependent on the methadone and the Suboxone because it makes them feel content for a while. They don't get a high feeling, but they don't have that sick feeling where they feel like, oh, I don't have no energy, I'm weak. So that's what the Suboxone and the methadone would do. But what it will do is then you become addicted to that if you take it too much. If you're on it for 30 days, it's already got you, and you'll be somebody that was a heroin user that just switched to methadone or Suboxone. And actually, it's kind of cheaper because probably you're going to be on Medicaid to pay for the rehab and to pay for your Suboxone or your methadone, and you're not going to be spending your money on heroin no more. But what happens then is that they go ahead and they use the Suboxone or the methadone, and whenever they feel like it, they go ahead and relapse on heroin, and then they got their methadone and Suboxone there, and they just keep it going like that, and that's how the addiction rolls to the day they die.
Right, and that's why I'm asking, like, do you think that energy feeling and what you say, you know, all that would come back if they kept them, if they did the rehab without the methadone and Suboxone, and they just went cold turkey, like, would you eventually, it would be better, wouldn't it?
It will be better because you won't be addicted to nothing. But when you go cold turkey, it it's hard for a lot of people. A lot of people can't go cold turkey. Um, that's why we got so many people addicted. Uh, I believe yes. I believe if you're gonna go ahead and try to quit, and you're in that rehab, try to go cold turkey if you can. But if you can't, which a lot of people can't, they gotta do what works for them. It's their life. But being addicted to heroin isn't really much of having a life. You are a slave to a drug,
Right.
and if you call that having a life, that's not really having a good life.
What I wonder is like if they I know that a lot of the complaint that I've seen from, some people that have gone to rehab, is they don't allow people to smoke cigarettes in rehab. Is that true?
I've never been to rehab, and I don't smoke cigarettes.
Okay.
Uh,
So if
Um,
anybody in the chat knows, but from what I've heard from, more than one person, is that they don't allow them to smoke cigarettes. So a lot of what they're, in there, you know, they're, that's an addiction too, but at least it would help them to, why take everything, including the phone, like if they wanted to make a vlog and still keep, or maybe even go to, AA chat meetings online, or start one themselves. Maybe they're not giving them anything to. I've just seen some people, they go to rehab and it's only for a few days. It's not for as long as I think that it should be, right?
you can't kick heroin in a few days.
No, that's what I'm saying. And it seems like they're only giving them a few days. Like they're not saying to them, 5 days for the sickness, like you said, and then after that, it's a whole nother ball game. You know, you know what I mean?
And there's things like after you're done kicking the drug, it leaves you where mentally, basically, you're emotionless. You don't have emotion. You're not going to be laughing at jokes. You're not going to really want to socialize. Um, it kind of really leaves you like scarred. And I don't think a lot of these people understand that. And that's when you see somebody who's has an addiction, and maybe they have a channel and they're, hey, I'm hungry. Can you help me out? And they're doing things with the money. Um, you're putting that person in a bigger hole, and
I
the
think
addiction.
so too. I mean, I think you could help somebody out at up to a point, but when they become adjusted to the fact that, oh well, you know, now I have money for food and can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like you become accustomed and used to it. Even if you were, from a rich family and your parents always paid your bills and then they said, oh, we're not paying your bills anymore,
Mhm.
you would have a hard time adjusting to, all of a sudden having to pay your own bills. So you're right. It was just really making it worse. You could help. Like I would think the best thing to do, I think a lot of the problem is, um, I mean, I don't know. I've never been in that situation, so I really can't say because I just have my thoughts on it. From as an outsider, I can't say I've ever been in that boat, but I do think I've not been in that boat because I've always been responsible. Like I pay, you know, everybody has some form of something that some people it's scratch tickets, some people it's, whatever their is their pleasure, right?
It's a position, and anybody could be put in a position. But what the position that they're in, they actually chose to be in that position.
Right. And when people will say, "Oh, it's a disease, it's a disease," see, hear an echo. You don't hear an echo?
I thought I heard some like something, but no, I don't hear an echo.
It's only when I'm talking, so I don't know if. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's me. But what I was saying is, I'll hear people and they say it's a disease, the addiction, but then they say, well, they won't, fix themselves or go to rehab or whatever until they want to do it when they choose to do that. So then it becomes suddenly now it's a choice, right?
Um, well, when you get in that situation and everyone says, "Hey, like, go get a job," that's really easy to say. First, you're not passing the drug test. After that, and a hard day's work. When's the last time you did a hard day's work and you're gonna, you're telling a dope addict to go get a job?
Well, no,
That's like,
not a
I
job,
mean,
not to go get a job. I mean, like the
I'm not
um,
saying you. I'm saying that the a lot of people that are commenting are telling people, "Hey, go get a job," and but they're really in no condition to work. Um, and when it the reason why the addiction they say is a disease is because that person will harm themselves because of that addiction. They'll give every last dollar. They'll put themselves out there and put their life at risk, uh, all to get that pack. And so they call that a disease. I look at it like this: that in our country we have two things with homelessness and drug addiction. And if you could solve either one of those problems right now, boy, you would turn the country around, because that's what a lot of people are facing. And guess what? They're only in positions. So anyone could be in that position.
right. I feel like it is a problem with the pain meds that the doctors are prescribing. I mean, they're prescribing pain meds and they know that they're addictive and they know that they're prescribing, too many in a day. And half the people, they don't even take what's prescribed because they know it's too much, you know? But the doctor is like, oh, you should take that would keep them, and then they cut them off it. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like these doctors, these pharmaceutical companies, it doesn't make sense to me that they're making that
Do
they're
you know
doing
how?
that.
Okay, do you know how what you just said? I should say someone was like, "Hey, I hurt my leg or I hurt my back, and my doctor had me on OxyContin." Okay, and then they cut me off. So after I was cut off, I needed my back was hurting. I needed my medication. I was, I was addicted. I was fiending for the medication, so I had to go out there in the street and cop my medication. But I couldn't find OxyContin, so I found heroin. Have you heard people say that?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. You've heard people say I went from Vicodin to heroin, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you.
They basically would do anything, actually, at that point. You know what I mean? Like anything that
Oh,
numbs the pain, I guess. But I think that maybe their pain is healed and they just don't know because they're numbing.
well, I have a different opinion. That's like taking drinking a beer, and then going and drinking some popcorn Sutton's moonshine. And what it is that you're, even though you've been using Vicodin or you've been using OxyContin, you don't have the tolerance of being able to handle heroin. So whenever it is, if you go do if you go do a shot of heroin, a sniff of heroin, what happens is when you do that, you are going to get so high that you get sick, and then you're going to be like, holy shit, I'm not high. I think I'm dying. And what happens is they continue to keep using after that. And that's how you become an addict, because heroin's a really strong drug. It's a lot stronger than any
I see what you're
prescription drug.
saying. So you're saying after they go through an experience where, say, if you were real hung over on something, right? And you say, I'm never drinking that again, right? And
Right.
so you don't. So what you're saying is if somebody gets real sick from heroin, like in comparison, you know, them getting prescribed OxyContin because they broke their leg, in comparison to puking heroin, they should say, "Oh, I'm not going to do that again. It made me sick." But I see interviews with people that are now, at now addicted to heroin, and when asked, "How was your first time doing it?" they'll say it was great. Like, so we all hear that it's puking, but quite frankly, every time I see somebody saying, "How was your first day?" I go, "It was great. It was great." I haven't heard any of them say I got sick. So maybe it doesn't happen all the time that way.
Okay, wait a second. You're taking advice from a drug addict, first off.
No, not advice. I'm saying
Well,
I watch the soft white underbellies and stuff or
oh,
whatever.
I know what you're saying, but when a person's being interviewed, they're a drug addict, and they're saying, well, how was it? And that person says, oh, it was tingly. I felt like warm. I felt like I was in love. But what it is, the drug works, and it will work on you, but it's playing a game in your head. Um, that drug don't love you. It don't care about you. And what after it does what it does to you, do you know how you say when you get drunk and you've drunk too much, you've got a hangover?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's the same thing with heroin. Once you're done doing heroin, the next day when you wake up, you still got the heroin hangover from the night before. So again, how is that person going to go to work? Now, there are people out there that can actually do that. They can wake up, bam, no problem. I'm going to work. And matter of fact, I'm going to get high before I go to work, and then go to work and function and maintain a habit. And you would never know that they were a heroin addict. But there's only a very few people that can actually really do that. Most of them fall into the cracks. They can't pay for their addiction. And one thing I've always asked myself, if you could pay for your own heroin, would it be okay? And I thought to myself, well, I think it would be, because what happens is that these people can't pay for their own heroin, and it kind of like they do things, and we see what's going on. So what I just said right there, if you could pay for your own heroin, think about this. If heroin was prescribed to you and it was covered under insurance, a lot of people right there uh, wouldn't be so broke. Not that everyone would be like, hey, that's a good idea, legalize heroin and insure it. But what is this? Is the same thing as OxyContin.
So there is a state that just recently legalized like small amounts of drugs. I think maybe Colorado, which is crazy. But if you have two devices, I suggest you look up who holds the patent for Bear, because I'm not for heroin. Who holds the patent for heroin?
Bear holds the patent for heroin. Bear
Yeah,
also.
Bear.
Have you ever
So
heard of
that
Monsanto?
pharmaceuticals, they could be adding heroin to things, and we could be none the wiser.
Have you ever heard of a company called Monsanto?
Yeah, it's right here where I live, Montana.
Bear also owns them.
Yeah, and they do all that what do they call it?
Poison.
For
The
the seeds,
poison.
they're fake seeds.
Weed Be Gone, and that causes cancer.
Yeah,
Have
and
you?
somebody just said in here, they said something about the where is it, right here in the live stream? They said about the wheat what are they? Oh, here we go. Everyone needs to watch the documentaries of these cartels and what they're actually putting on heroin and pot is wasp spray and what that does to get you high and kill your brain cells. And you just said that they're putting that in, you know, the weed we got, and that's the thing. They're putting shit in. They probably have been all these years.
Hey, do you want to know what they're really doing? If you're buying cocaine or if you're buying weed and you say, well, this can't have that in it, you might be mistaken. Actually, what they're doing is they're putting phenol and stuff like that. And you say, well, why? And because the dope man wants a client, and once you get hooked on the weed, thinking that it's weed and it's got a little phenol in it, he's got him a new client, and that's all that matters.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
when you're copping drugs, you really want to know who you're copping drugs from, that you can trust that person, that you're getting good quality, and you're not
even that. I mean, look what we just said about the pharmaceutical companies and Bayer owning the patent to heroin. That must mean if there's a patent to heroin,
do you know who
the name heroin still makes money?
Do you know who the Sackler family is?
What was that? The
Sackler family?
No, I never heard of them.
They at first they were like three brothers, and I think it was maybe an uncle, and they were making volumes. And then after they learned how to make volumes, then that's when they started making the Oxycontins, and they were making so much money from the Oxycontin that they were giving it to like museums in France, and just giving them like $25 million to the museums. And it was from money that they were making off selling their Oxycontin out of the pharmacies.
They were making, out of the pharmacies. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I was, like I was reading up on, I think it was Pfizer, maybe. And the original guy, named Pfizer, who's like, whatever. And all he wasn't a pharmacist. He was just, he created like the thing around, I mean, he wasn't a pharmacist. He was just adding this crap and, putting inside a capsule that, or in a certain form that he became. And they're still, I just can't even get over the fact that there is so many of these doctors and they get a kickback and I can't wrap my head around what's happening now with everything going on, because I don't know, I get a little passionate about the prescription, the prescription drugs because in 84 my sister passed away and she wasn't addicted to prescription drugs. It was okay, Kat. It was a mixture and it caused her heart to fail. And it was that the doctors were saying, prescribing for her arthritis this and for her migraines this and, for this. And, in the fine print, it, clearly probably saying, shouldn't mix, but the doctors should be looking at that and saying, oh, this could cause a heart problem, this could cause this. But they weren't. They were just prescribing. So when she passed away of heart failure, the doctor said, well, the computers, they don't have, the pharmacies, the computers, we don't have the technology to know what this one is prescribing and that one is prescribing. But now they do. The technology is there. This is now, it's not 1984. It's 2021. What's their excuse now that the death and the whole, all of what's going on has increased so much? It makes me angry because it's like, okay, we accepted that excuse as a family that lost their loved one that wasn't a drug addict and wasn't, and it was, a fluke thing that her heart failed. These two particular prescriptions didn't mix. And I've seen the increase of how badly this has gone on, this opiate addiction, where it's gone. And like you said, the fentanyl, that was something that was created, but didn't doctors used to prescribe that?
For given child labor, or to like put you like under to knock you out so they do surgery.
Right. So they're prescribing these things, and then how are they getting onto the street? If it's like something that was pharmaceutical, you needed a prescription for it.
It either
How?
comes from China, and then China sends it to Mexico, and Mexico, they bring it from here from Mexico, or China brings it right to here, um, because down in Mexico they can grow their own heroin. They got their own cocaine down there. I heard that they actually have cocaine that tastes what smells like strawberries.
I haven't heard that. No.
Yeah.
I could see, them like packing it in something that is, makes the canine dogs or whatever something to, deter them or something.
That's a drug that's made with like a bunch of acids, cement. So I've watched videos and how they make that. And then I was watching a video of a Mexican prison, and the guy he goes, you won't believe it, but in here we got better cocaine than they do on the streets. He goes, that stuff on the streets is all cut up with airplane fuel. He goes, the cocaine in here it's like strawberries. It smells just like a strawberry.
That's weird, huh? I feel like the U.S. is behind some of that stuff too, though.
Um, of course, because like it's big business. Say for instance, Coca-Cola. That's a legal product. It has sugar, acid, and what happens? You could become addicted to soda pop, and then once you start drinking soda pop, then you start rotting your teeth out. Without teeth, how are you going to eat? And without eating, how are you going to live? And that's just from a soda pop.
Well,
So,
get this. My friend's daughter, who was little, she was a little kid, okay? She would eat hand sanitizer, like the flavored hand sanitizer.
mhm.
She would eat it. Now, if you look at the ingredients to that, there's a lot of alcohol in hand sanitizer. And something had happened where she was acting funny one day and they tested her and she had alcohol poisoning. And him and her mother got in trouble. Like they thought that she was drunk and drink, but it was a hand sanitizer she was drinking that they sell these little kids.
um, this is kind of a little bit off, but I went to the dentist today, and I was talking to my dentist, and I said, I watch these YouTube videos, and I said, there's a girl, and I said she's an addict, and I said she either smokes crack or meth, and I said, if maybe you're aware of the term meth mouth, and he goes, of course I'm aware of that, and I said, I think she's starting to get a little bit of this, and he goes, if she's got that, her teeth are ruined. And I said, well, how much is it going to cost to fix her teeth? He goes, it doesn't matter. If she keeps on smoking, her teeth, doesn't matter how much you put into her teeth, within a year, they'll be back to where they are now. He goes, once they pull out the original teeth, she's looking at $50,000 if she wants 4-point implant teeth. And I thought about that, and I said to myself, do those people actually really know what they're doing to her? I mean, she can't see the future. And I heard her, I said, she was saying like, oh, my tooth hurts. And I said to myself, if your tooth really does hurt, you're going to have some problems, and you're probably going to need some crowns or maybe a root canal, or you're going to need some teeth pulled. And that was just before I even noticed that. If you ever look, when she smiles and her front two teeth on the top, she's got like two little black stains that are starting from that. And that's an indicator, I believe, of meth mouth.
Now, I don't know who we're talking about.
You said you don't like mentioning names. So just keep watching the videos, and the people that you know that smoke crack, look at their teeth, and then it will come to you who I'm talking about.
Oh, you said meth. You didn't say crack.
I said, I don't know if they're smoking meth or crack, but what looks like what's happening to their teeth is a term called meth mouth. And so they say that they're smoking crack, but to be honest with you, they're probably smoking meth because they don't make crack like they did back in the 80s. They put a bunch of cut in the cocaine, and a lot of that cut is probably meth.
Well, I feel like a lot of, people that are homeless or something like that, that maybe they wouldn't, have anywhere. It wouldn't be first and foremost on their minds, like where they're brushing their teeth and everything. And I don't know. I always feel like it's a luxury to have, somewhere to live and shower and all that stuff. So I I wouldn't be able to wrap my head around being like, okay, I'd rather do that than have a place to live, like, you know what I'm saying?
I can tell you what you looked at your responsibilities and looked at the positive of having responsibilities and said, I'd rather have a job, a roof over my head. I'd rather have animals that are taken care of than go out there and have no responsibility whatsoever.
Exactly. Yeah. I wouldn't take that leap of, something that there's so much information about. And I'm not talking about people who have, maybe developed whatever they're going through because of, being prescribed something they broke through. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the initial people who say, "Oh yeah, I'll try heroin or I'll try meth," something where they know it might hinder their entire whole life. There's so much, videos and
Hey,
everything you can see on it. Doesn't The majority of it is negative. So I wouldn't say, "Oh, I'm gonna do that."
tonight I heard Secular ask you if you ever been in a fight before, and you said two. So, like a fight, what a fight is that you have a coach, a manager, and he says, "Look, Survivor girl, you're getting beat. You're taking a beating. You got 1 minute to go ahead and make adjustments, and then if you want to win this fight, get out there and show me that you want to win this fight." These people, they don't have a manager. They don't have somebody looking out for them. They have, hey man, let's go out and get high.
Yeah, but I
And
don't have that. I don't have somebody, I just, you kind of gotta figure, okay, everything I've seen on, say heroin, let's just take that for example. Everything I've seen on it doesn't look fun, right? So and plus I wouldn't be able to put a needle in my arm, and I wouldn't want to just because of the dangers of it. I mean, people go to school for that. So it would never cross. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing or whatever somebody else says okay to it, but I myself, I would never be, that wouldn't be on my bucket list to ever try.
it's it's like throwing your life away. And if you want to throw your life away, go ahead and I mean, that's like biting a bullet.
Right. We're not biting a bullet, just jumping in front of one.
I don't know if I mentioned, but on the other YouTuber's show, they were asking her, I guess it was people, like somebody said, hey, I'm thinking about using heroin. Can you tell me how to shoot up? And she actually told the people, hey, this is what you do. And once I heard that, I said to myself, you can't go around telling people how to get high on heroin. You could have been telling some kid that, and that kid could go out there and not have the immune system or the immunity and the tolerance that she has. Get out there and take a taste of some dope and OD. Is it the worst? No, I mean, everyone dies, but if that's the way you want to go, I mean, give it a
I heard
shot.
somebody say that she did it because, she wanted to make sure somebody didn't do it the wrong way and hurt themselves.
That's what she said, but still in all,
but what I see what you're saying, because what she should have said is not at all. Don't do it at all. She should have deterred them and said, that's why I'm going to rehab, because I don't ever want,
And when my feeling about the rehab thing is that why not quit at home? Why do you need a rehab? And you've already did it. You've already quit 2 times prior. You know what you're going to go through. If you're serious about it, quit at home.
I thought that she wasn't, when I'd seen her on, CWs, I was under the impression that she wasn't, using or anything. So I was kind of shocked when she was saying she was going to rehab, because she didn't seem like she was a few months ago.
Do you remember when he did a video of her and he went to her house and she had on a yellow sweatshirt and he brought her a bunch of gifts?
No, I don't remember that one.
Well, he brought her a bunch of gifts, and that was the first time I ever seen her. I thought she was a very appreciating person. She seemed like, oh, thank you. I just want to let everyone know. Thank you so much for buying me the gifts. I don't sell the stuff. I got everything. And I thought she really appreciated it.
Yeah, she seemed in a different frame of mind then. It really did, because I remember it was close to, I think I do recollect that one, but she was also in another one where she was talking about, she goes to visit her mother or something, and, she just seemed different at that time, and something must have changed in her life, yeah, that brought her back to whatever she's doing now, because she's changed a little bit, yeah. But she thinks, she's likable and stuff. But like I said, I haven't, commented, because I don't want to get
She is a likable person. Her habit does nothing but hurt herself. She ain't hurting nobody else doing it. Does her using drugs hurt you in any way? Because it don't hurt me in any way.
And you know what? I mean, she said she was monetized now, right?
You said modified?
Monetized.
Oh, monetized. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. On YouTube now. So, that's, a big thing, for a YouTuber to get monetized. And so that also makes sense that what you were saying about going and leaving your channel, if it takes that long.
Even though she's been monetized though, I've watched since her first. I've watched a lot of them. I don't pay attention to the whole her whole shows. On her last show though, I think she got 70 people, which is a pretty good number. But when you have 1,000 people sub to you and you're only getting 70 in there,
that's a good amount.
Yeah, it's
started out.
Yeah, both of them just started out.
Yeah, Bobbles was doing good.
Even though I think that Bobbles has the better. I kind of like the way I can understand Bobbles clearly. I think what it is though is that her subscribers, she's always been around 100. It hasn't grown, even though there's people watching, there's people that are joining her live on the panel, but to see, you know, when
Somebody
you
go
think
up that amount.
when you think you're doing the right thing, and then you see somebody else and they're doing things that you don't agree with, but they got all the subs, they got all the equipment, and then they got all of the chatters. You start to think to yourself, what am I doing wrong? Maybe, I don't know.
About myself too. I'll think that, and I think that has something to go back to the CW channel. If he's like supporting you and everything, then he lets that person share their link on his page, and they get subscribers that way.
Um, I believe when you have a channel, it really affects your confidence, and you
Right.
have to have thick skin. You can't let what someone says affect you, your feelings. Somebody can say, "Hey, you had a good show," when you say to yourself, "Man, that was a bad show I had today," and then you say, "Well, that person told me I had a good show," and then you start to like, uh, you question yourself: Did I have a good show or a bad show? Um, I think when you have people and you call them friends,
Right.
just me. If say you said, "Hey, I think that there's a circle and the circle is the color red," and I looked at it and I said, it might be the color orange, but I'm not going to say nothing. They all said, "Hey, don't say it's the color red. It could be orange," and uh, that's just kind of what I felt. And I would be like, "Is that what I would want?" And then you say, "Well, what are you going to do?" Well, I heard it today on Nitty, and he goes, "I kick it with myself. I don't need nobody." And I thought about it, and I was like, this guy doesn't need nobody. He sits here and he does kick it by himself. He's a one-man show. Whether you like him or not, he preaches. He has the points of view. Sometimes he has good points of view. Sometimes his points of view are, maybe should be kept to himself. But it's a different way to look at it. And what happens is that you can always bring people back. But what it is if they affect your confidence, I don't know if you'll ever get your confidence back, because you could be a confused person and totally lost in what's going on out here, and then always questioning what are they looking for? What are they going to tune in for?
That is where it does take thick skin. Like after CW had done what he did to me, I noticed in the YouTube studios, which when you have a channel, that's where you check your watch time and what's gone up or down. It has these graphs, and I noticed such a drop in my view time and things like that. And so I said, you know what, I'm just going to keep going, and I'm just going to keep making videos and things like that. And I noticed they did increase and everything, but I do notice that drama based things, drama based channels and things like that, they actually do get a lot more views, which with me, like I've been trying to like not see this is what when like a random thing where I'm venting and we are talking about things, and sometimes they should be talked about, but I've been trying to be positive and stay out of all that. And I noticed my live streams, they're good, but I think they're good and they got good people in, and I like the topics and everything, but even other people's live streams that aren't drama based, I notice they don't get the views that some, these drama ones they get. And that is frustrating too.
Like in your last couple lives, I didn't notice no trolls, and I didn't notice no trolls over on Bobo's show.
Yeah, I didn't either. That's good, yeah. Especially for having 55 people in our live stream.
Did you know that girl Sharon has a guy that's actually stalking her and making threats to her? I don't know for sure, but that's what I heard from what they posted.
Physically or on YouTube?
It was on YouTube.
But I mean, is the guy on YouTube stalking her? Or is he like a physical person stalking her?
Right now he's just somebody off of YouTube stalking her, and I don't know if they know who he is or not. I think he's the guy that posted up. She's got some when I'm going down my scroll, I see it, and like an ad for her will come up, and it will be something that she's planning for later on. And she said that some guy was threatening her, and there's somebody that's posting a number to some kind of agent. Maybe she's got a probation agent or a warrant. There was something, and I noticed that on one of the the commercials that she had.
Well, I noticed, Bombo, she was talking about, that V person.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? Not the girl. You know what I'm talking about, right? And she said something about he had posted her phone number. Did you hear her say that?
No, I didn't hear her say that. I don't know. I don't know where Bobbles came from. I don't. Like I said, all I know is she just started making videos recently. I've only been watching maybe since of March of 2020. And do you remember the reason why I told you I started watching?
No.
I seen Chosen One's thing come up before, and I never watched it. I seen the pictures of the girls with the acne or the pimple scars.
Yeah.
And I would never watch that. But one day I see Maddie. I scrolled and Maddie's came up, and I was like, no way. And what happened? So I clicked on it and I started watching it. And the reason why I clicked on it is because a girl that I was kind of dating looked exactly like her. And I thought it was her. But then after I heard Maddie's voice, I knew it wasn't her.
I do remember that now. You're saying that.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Yeah, because she is from Michigan. You're from Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she is from Michigan. And she's likable, I mean, she's been on Tom's channel for a while. I mean, when he did his first interviews with her, she was a very likable person and stuff.
Her gift is her voice. She has the voice of like a hostess.
Yeah.
She could actually tell you to go fuck yourself, and then go, and then after she did that laugh, you'd be like, "What? Did this bitch tell me to go fuck myself?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, she did." And then she laughed, and then you'd be like, "Damn."
But you know who I'm talking about when I say Vern. I'm gonna just say the name Vern.
No, I totally, I know how he was on Chosen One show. I seen people go on his show that we talked to in the community. I used to kick it with Miss Passion and Byron. He went on there for a little while. It was actually a time where you weren't on there, maybe for like a week or two, and then he came on there. Then he stopped going on there. But yeah, I know, and I don't agree with, I mean, that's between, it's not none of my business, but it's between you and him. but it just, I think it could have been dealt with a whole lot classier. Not just ignoring it, maybe, but he is who he is. Apparently, he's making a little of a history of um, that, and people are learning about it. Babos maybe thinks different
about
of
what
him.
he's doing.
Yeah. Because what I was gonna say was, like I told you how I watched, from when and when. Like she didn't notice that, she didn't ever watch your channel and know what kind of problem you were having with him.
Right.
And then she had him on there. Um, you know, and then there's people that come on your show that actually went on his show and go on her show and all talk. And you know, and I guess they kind of they're cool with everybody. I think to myself, if you don't stand for something, you might fall for anything.
That's
Um,
true.
but but that's them. And
Well, I guess they had a falling out, him and Bobbles. And he said he accused her or whatever, something to do with his phone number. So he put her phone number out there. I didn't see him put her phone number out there, but she said that. And I feel like, prior to all of this, for 3 years, I've been trying to say, look, this person is, that's why he was here in the first place, and this, came around this community in the first place. He wasn't at Chosen One before me.
nope, he wasn't at all. And
No.
the only reason he did that was to piss you off. Let that guy on there, and that guy would go on. Oh, I know it's the Russians. I know who's doing this. I know who's doing that. He's an intelligent guy. I think he talks some BS. I think he's a person that maybe has a hard time getting along with people, and he's that's why he's alone. And you know, maybe that applies to all a lot of us. But
I
I
was in
also
shock, though. I mean, this person had been running a Wither Away and Die video for 4 months,
um,
prior to him being allowed on Chosen, prior to them mods all going there and friending him. And they knew what unfolded. And
oh,
it happened right when I got diagnosed with cancer. So for me, it was like, wow, is this like taking an opportunity of when it would really punch me in the gut even more
okay. So
to go, yeah,
you said that, right? You said you were surprised. Are you
yeah.
surprised? Are you surprised about these people? Um, I'm learning so much about these people. I'm learning. I'm learning how they talk. I'm learning when they get mad. I'm learning how when someone says, "Hey, fuck you," and you were fucking married to a crackhead. That didn't need to be said. And that the person that was saying that is of the age where have some dignity for yourself. And then so what that showed me is what they all got going on is it's the call. And if it's like a David Koresh thing. And a lot of these women are very jealous of their positions, the attention that they get, the power that they get. Once they get that wrench and they can go ahead and block a comment, it goes to their head.
I was surprised though that Chosen One did that, initially, because I wasn't. It wasn't a thing where at that time it wasn't about drama wasn't going on with it was a different kind of channel, it seemed. Things were different on Chosen One, and things were pleasant at the time. And then I never realized even that Vern was um, going and doing these things because he would, I haven't blocked, of course, but he would have me blocked. So I wouldn't see when he was in these live streams as a different name, like Survivor Man 2020 or something, and was saying things. And I didn't know. So then when I started going to live streams and people would go, because there was also Survivor Girl clone and going and saying, I'm pleasing myself right now. I'm doing this. And I would have no idea that this shit was going on. And so when it all came down, I was just trying to fight cancer. And all of a sudden, everybody ostracized me. And then this person that at that point, it was 2.5 years, that had been, I never had a personal relationship with him, Vern. We never talked on the phone. We were never buddies, so the reason why I brought it up is because it's the same, the same kind of uh, thing you were saying about, you know, uh, V with T getting stalked on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. That when I was, trying to point out for the last 3 years that I was scared to death of a big man stalking a woman. Remember you said that?
Oh, yep.
Yeah,
And
somebody of that stature was talking about, somebody who was so angry.
they can't tell when that guy starts doing that laugh that, whoa, like, what's going on here? And uh, a lot of these people, when they look at Chosen One, and they say, "Wow, he's a pilot, he's a PI, he knows a lot about books, he knows a lot of he yes, that's true. Also, though, don't forget though, he's also been put in a mental institution.
Right. I mean, I guess, there's regardless of that, though, he's not half as crazy as, the other person who we were talking about.
Okay, 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 yeah, but what I'm saying though is that he's a moody person. There's the reasoning for why he does what he does, and what happens is that you start to think, well, he seems like such a normal guy, and then why does his
Can you hear me?
I can hear
Are
you.
you there? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So you think that you say to yourself, he seems like a normal guy. Why does his mood seem to change so much? Um, that's the reason why he's in the asylum. He's in the mental ward. Uh, uh, and that's the question he has. When I watch him, I I listen to him. I used to go on the show when he was up there and doing the blue ice. For about a week or two, I would talk to just chime in and stuff, talk about the weather or whatever. And I think he's an intelligent guy. He all that, but what it is that he's a guy that's got everything, and he's depressed. And I think to myself, you say that you're depressed, but I don't even really believe that you're depressed. I believe that you're lonely and that you need a woman or a lover or whatever it is. That's your business. But what it is that you failed at making this happen before, and you're afraid to go back and try it again. And you can't tell me that a man that's he's not dead. He's still a man. He's alive. He still has to have a sex drive. For him not to have sex for 21 years, I'm not buying that.
Oh, is that what he said?
Since he's been away from his wife, or separated from his wife, and he said that was like some 21 years ago. So
I also heard him say one time that the G spot is a myth. And Oh, well, that would explain a lot, like if this guy, never, you know what I'm saying?
I, um, okay, there's element to that. That's the same. Okay, he doesn't have. Hey, girl, how you doing? He can't walk up to a woman and say that. He's too shy. Matter of fact, he thinks. I mean, he might think he's better than that, and he don't want to come across as slimy or a guy trying to get laid or a guy just um, talking a bunch of BS, flirting. Um, and what happened was, instead of going up to these girls and being like, "Hey, do you want to have sex?" He kind of sat there and stalked them out for a while before he initially started interviewing the girls. Am I correct?
He was doing the abandoned, like he was just driving around Detroit and showing the neighborhoods and what they were, what was happening with them. And then he ended up one night when he was like leaving Detroit and going, to get on the highway, he came across Penny and she was like sitting there. I don't know if you ever watched that video. Have you ever watched it?
Oh, I seen a few. Oh, yeah, that's the blonde.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she said, she's always scared and she sleeps under the bridge and all that. And she looked like she probably was very pretty at some point. It was like really sad. And so then I guess he started, you know, did an interview with a lady named Angel, this black lady, and she was really engaging and stuff. And
She was a smart girl.
yeah, the black lady
Actually,
there, Angel. Yeah.
all of the black girls I seen him interviewed, well, Akira Turner, she was a smart girl. They called her Sweet Pea. Akira Turner. Um, she was so smart that she took the YouTube page, put a video of her dancing, shaking her butt, and was using that like for a back page ad.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Sweetie. I never
Um,
saw that. Yeah.
she,
Was that like one of the latest ones?
yeah, she OD'd. She OD'd at the end of January, the last
Oh,
week
she
of
died.
January. She ended up ODing off some heroin.
Ugh.
Um, yeah. She was really smart. Like you said, Angel was really smart. And there's
She
one
died
more.
too. Angel
Yeah.
and
Uh,
Penny. Penny died. And that's what started happening, which was kind of weird, was that they were
um,
dying in the order that he was downloading the video.
so, okay, listen to this. This is when I'm watching all this, I say to myself, I'm just initially watching, don't really know what's going on. I say, ooh, could this guy be in some way, maybe, who knows? Maybe he gets mad and is, you see a nice side to him. Then the other side you see is he gets mad and then he goes ahead and starts beating people up, snapping necks or something. Um, and so I would kind of like watching, and I don't believe he's a murderer. No, I think though he should feel a little guilty for exposing these girls. And if you say why, is because I'm from the area. I had no idea that there were hookers out there working. I mean, a matter of fact, I had no. I was under the impression that the cops got heroin off the streets. Um, and what I found out was I was wrong about both accounts. There's all kinds of girls going down to the city. They're using drugs. They're hooking. What streets they're on, and apparently somebody was watching. Maybe they weren't watching his channel. Maybe they were just cruising the streets, and maybe that there was two guys that got busted for the murders, for some murders. I don't know about all of the murders, but um, it's
I do feel like maybe somebody was watching his videos and, like going in the order of, like, and watching somebody else be blamed for something that they knew they were doing and kind of setting somebody up, maybe not on purpose, but because they were, just that was the way they were doing it. But I'm surprised that the media there, that I would say that would be the media that was giving you the impression, like, you lived there and thought, that it was one way there, because when I Google, you know, uh, things about Detroit, Googling, not looking on YouTube, there's like, it's because there's like the biggest sex trafficking rings going on there, um, uh, body dumping almost, because these, it seems, like, first of all, they cut the police there, they cut the budget, and then, so here you've got like a burning car. Hey, Tiff, how you doing? You know Tiffany? You know Nacho, don't you, Mr. Rourke?
I've seen her videos. Yes.
Yeah. And
Hello.
they will be burning cars there, and there'll be a body in a burnt car behind some building, and the cops don't
Hey.
run the VIN number.
Matter of fact, is that our friend's girlfriend's? You know how she's got that name, and was that the one with Becky in the car there where they left the guy? He had apparently he OD'd, and then they
No,
set the car.
I mean, in general, there's a lot of you know of bodies dumped in Detroit. It's like a body dump.
There's a okay in our area. There's a reason for that, and it's because we have a prison mentality. Uh, a lot of people here are just they carry themselves in a very negative way, and when you're in the area of Detroit, you'll see that just by watching the news. Once you get out of the area of Detroit and you go to the suburbs, it's not so bad. Actually, it's kind of nice. Once you get to if you want to go to like Traverse City, Charlevoix, Mackinac Island, that's kind of like way up north, upstate. That's like about 3 hours away from 3 to 4 hours away from Detroit City. So it takes a while to get there, and so you're almost kind of like in the boonies.
Right, but it was just surprising to me that, the police, if they find like an abandoned car, with a body burning in it, I find it hard to believe that, after that story, there'll be no follow-up story identifying the body, identifying the car, so that it seems there's a lack of concern even on the authorities' part to find out, like, this could be someone's daughter. It might not be somebody from the streets or anything, just someone's daughter, that because of the lack of investigation that's going on, because they always feel everyone is, oh, they're a drug addict from here and blah blah blah, who cares? But it may not be, and it just seems like there's a lot of that going on in Detroit.
And in Detroit, the area of Mexican Village actually is a safe, probably the safest part of Detroit. If you went to the east side, he would be scared to get out on the east side. On the east side, they're more territorial. If you're not buying dope, then they don't want you down in their turf, and they might start shooting at you.
Isn't that where he goes, to the east side?
No, he goes to the southwest side. The east side would be like John R. And anywhere from like John R. east, that would be like to like Mack Avenue, 7-8 Mile.
Hi, Tiffany. Tiffany came in.
Hi, you guys.
Hello.
You guys know each other, right?
Yes, we've talked before, right, Mr. Rourke?
Yeah, I think we have.
Yeah, we've talked before. We've talked a couple times, Survivor Girl, long for a minute. So yeah, he's cool. Nice
Where, have
guy.
you ever been to Detroit, Tiffany?
No, I have not. I've been to Chicago, but not Detroit. And that's mostly because I've never really had a reason to go there before, but I would like to visit it. I'm interested now after, you know what I mean, after seeing so much
Yeah,
of
I'm very interested in Michigan now. The whole state.
yeah, me too. It looks beautiful, right?
It does. My daughter went to Michigan. She said it's beautiful. She's the Upper Peninsula. I'd like to go there.
Me too. There's a spot in the Upper Peninsula. They have vineyards there, and I can't remember the name of the town, but they have like this annual. It has a really quaint downtown. Mr. Rook, you might know what I'm talking about.
Is it Traverse City?
I don't know if it's Traverse City. It could be. Do they have vineyards up there? It's kind of like they have a really awesome downtown, really like good food, lots of breweries type deal.
Do they have a cherry festival in the summertime?
Yes, that is
Yep.
it.
That's it.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, I heard
That's
it's
where I'd like to
beautiful.
go visit for sure.
They got a lot of nice clean water there. When like I saw the Great Lakes there, the one that I don't know whatever one is there, but Mari lives near it. Was it Lake Michigan? I don't know,
Oh my
but it was
God,
like real blue. It was nice
it
and
looks like
clean,
Hawaii.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was like Michigan, and uh, once you like go a little bit north of Traverse City, you can go on the dunes right there, and that's where they were. They were up like on the cliffs.
Yeah, the water was like fantastically blue for a lake. I've never seen anything like that. Beautiful. I just
You
like
know,
to,
people surf
see
the
it.
Great Lakes. Just Tracy, people actually they have breaks and waves and people surf them. It's crazy.
I would
It,
never surf.
oh, it's fun. I was at the beach the past few days and with the kids because they're on spring break this week.
Yep.
And yeah, I got fried today. It's been cloudy and overcast, but today was like 80 and no wind and hot. I look like a damn tomato. I am in so much pain right now. I came home, I fell asleep. I
Yeah.
woke up like 15 minutes ago and I'm like on fire. My body, I feel like I'm in hell. It's so bad.
I haven't been sunburned for a while. I didn't go to the beach at all last year. Well, because of the COVID.
Yeah, I didn't either. I try and stay out of the sun like this, but sometimes I can't help it because of the boys, you know?
I love the
Um,
sun.
yeah, I do too.
Your weather's beautiful, huh?
It's nice right now. It's getting a little bit too hot for my taste, though. I like it to be about 65, 70, you know?
Right, right.
88 or 85 at the beach is really hot.
Well, if it's 85, what's it going to be in the summer? Like 115?
Oh, well, where I live during the summer, um, August, yeah, it gets into triple digits daily.
That's it,
The problem
really.
is, yeah, the problem is at night it's hot too. I can deal with the heat during the day as long as the night cools down, but during like August time, it's hot at night too, so it's miserable. Like
Oh,
I
by the
can't.
way, you guys, Tiffany is the one who had the mountain lion on her roof.
That's what I was going to ask. Did you have a mountain lion on your roof?
I lived on a property a couple years ago that had some acreage to it, and it was in the more mountainy areas of where I'm at now. It's in a city called Temecula, and not only would it jump on this property I lived on had a lot of smaller structures like outhouses on it, different little like 1 and 2 bedroom apartments or single family residences and stuff. And there was a mountain lion that lived in the vicinity. So the mountain lions will travel like I think it's like a 15-mile range, or maybe it's 45. I don't know. They have like a certain area they'll span that they'll consider home. And this property was in its span of area that lived in it. And this thing would jump on the roof at night, and it was the scariest shit you've ever. It sounded like I don't even know how to describe it. It was so loud. It sounded like you had a damn lion. Well, it was a lion. It was
I
just, it
couldn't
was scary.
imagine.
because it was chasing
Imagine if you
something.
walked outside just to like check and see what the noise was, and the thing pounded on you.
Well, the first time I heard it, that's what I did. And, I told somebody about it the next day who was doing the remodeling on the property, and they said, don't ever do that again. I said, why? Because it's a mountain lion. I was like, oh, you don't say. I won't be doing that again.
Yeah, I know. I definitely wouldn't. Although I do feel bad for them when they get shot and killed and all that stuff, you know?
Yeah, we're not allowed to trap them out here. They're endangered, so we're not allowed to trap them or kill them or relocate them. In fact, they had to build them a underpass when they built out this freeway because it was in their natural habitat. They had to build them like a walkway underneath the freeway so they wouldn't get hit by cars. That's what the city had to do. They're mandated by the courts. It's crazy.
I read a story where a mountain lion walked all the way from South Dakota to Connecticut, Milford, Connecticut. That was like 1,800 miles, and it got
Oh
hit
my
by a
God.
car on the highway. I
They
thought, how
get hit.
sad, you know? It walked all that way and got hit by
Just to get
a car.
killed.
Yeah,
They
just
get
to
hit
get
up in
killed.
LA all the time, like up in the LA County area. They get hit a lot. It's sad. But that same mountain lion was like 3 feet away from me one day and didn't do anything. Just ran the opposite direction.
So that's pretty good. Have you
You
ever
gotta,
seen any stars, movie stars in your area?
Let's see, who have I run into? Yeah, I've run into quite a few. I've seen oh God, let's see, Eddie Van Halen. I've met President Clinton. I've seen
Do you hear an echo?
yeah, I do.
I feel like
Makes me,
Mr. Rourke, do you have your volume up high?
do I have my volume up high?
you
Yeah,
might
I
do you
feel
have the
like
stream running in the background?
No, I got it off my phone. That's it.
that's so
Is it
strange.
me?
No, because I heard it before. Like I hear it when we talk.
Yeah, that's not, it's got to be Mr. Roke because I was just muted. Do you have YouTube
Yeah.
open on your phone?
Excuse me?
If you have YouTube open on your phone while you're in StreamYard too, it'll create a little echo like that.
No, actually what happened was once I started talking, my phone screen went to black, so I can't even see what you guys are saying right now, or read what they're. I can just hear you guys. I can't see nothing else.
Oh, that's weird, huh? You can't see the tagged things anymore either when I tag the comment on the bottom?
No, actually, I had to turn my phone back on. I can see it now. You got Cashew Pipple.
Yeah, it's on there. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know
But
what it is.
If you want,
but
I can leave and you can see if it goes away.
no, what I think's going on is if you here try this out. Hit what kind of phone do you have? An Android or an Apple?
Android.
Okay, so hit your button that makes you go to all your open apps, and then make sure YouTube's not open. And if it is open, exit out of it and then come back to the browser.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Is YouTube still playing? Maybe because I don't hear it now.
It said StreamYard downloaded, and then it was open.
Okay, so
Okay,
I don't hear it now. So maybe that
yeah,
works.
it's fixed now. Yeah, that did it.
Yeah, of course it did.
He goes, of course it did. But yeah, Nacho Concern talks, and she knows everything.
He knows my wizardry. Oh
And
wait, it's
now I
back to me.
hear it.
Isn't it Nacho Hacker?
I changed it.
I was just hearing it again now.
I wonder why it's me. Maybe it's me, you guys. Hold on.
I don't think it is. Let me see. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh. Are you there, Tiffany?
Is that better?
Let's see. It's kind of lower, I guess. It's all right. Whatever.
All right.
Did
Yeah, we're
Did
just.
you catch the not to bring up drama? I'm just wondering. Did you catch
Mhm.
the Battling with Bobbles live stream from last night?
I didn't. I don't watch Bobbles too often. I popped in her chat one time to say hi because she just started live streaming, and that was the last time I did, and that was a while ago. So I haven't seen any of her streams, or at least,
Yeah, it's getting some backlash, but I have to say, sometimes when you hear somebody talking that you don't usually hear, and then the like somebody was going off, but yeah, I can hear that echo wicked loud. I don't know if it's. Let me see if I turn my thing
You think
down.
it might happen from moving the phone?
Are you moving your phone?
Um,
Yeah, I
I,
didn't
I,
hear.
just, I might have just moved my phone. That's maybe why
Well, let's see if I hear it. No, it sounds good now. That's pretty good. Yeah, but
Hey,
there
I
was
got a
somebody.
question.
What? Go ahead.
Do I sound like Jeff Spilling?
no.
No,
All right, because I was accused today by Ali of being Jeff Spilling.
as Mr. Rourke,
Let me
that
put
you were
this out
Mr.
there.
Rourke.
Let me put this out there right now and clear this up. Ollie knows exactly who Jeff Spilling is. Ollie knows exactly what Jeff Spilling has done and said, and Ollie knows exactly what she has said to Jeff Spilling because Jeff Spilling is Ollie's creation that she had to grandfather over to somebody else, right? Because she got so deep into her hole of lies that it got out of control. And she has been trying to save face for a year because she did shitty things. So, no, you're not Jeff Spilling. Ollie knows you're not Jeff Spilling. Ollie knows exactly who Jeff Spilling is. And Ollie just needs to stop. She makes herself look really crazy. All right. I'm not, I'm sick of
I
her. I'm
thought Jeff
tired of it.
Healing sounded like he was from down south or something on that
He did. He
recording.
sounded like he had a very thick put on accent. But whatever the case may be, Mr. Rook, no, I've spoken to you on the phone before, right? At length.
Yeah.
You're not Jeff Spilling. For her to say that, it's ludicrous. She's blamed everybody under the sun at this point. I'm really tired of that woman. I think she's sick and she needs to leave people alone. Don't you? I mean, that's just how I feel.
Well, you saw
And
the things I sent you tonight.
you know what? I did not because I was at the beach. We came home. We ate. I laid down about 7:30. I passed out and I woke
Yeah, it
up.
was just about how she was mentioning how I go to chemo in Boston. I don't go to chemo in Boston, and I'm like, that's what I mean, like to state it so blunt. Not like it's a big thing, but I'm just saying, she's, you know, and
You know what?
oh well, if she's gonna lose her home, why doesn't she get rid of StreamYard or something like this? And I
You
was
know,
just like,
Tracy,
why are they
you,
even mentioning me?
yeah, you have shown much more strength, integrity, honesty, compassion, class, decency, all of the above. When you truly were treated shitty by people, you have outshone all those people in so many aspects of life and everything else, strength, courage, everything. The audacity they have to say anything about you makes me sick and it really pisses me off, to be honest with you. I don't even watch anymore what goes on. I'll pop in and I'll see like a few minutes of it and it makes me so frustrated because it's like, I get not liking me. I get why people don't like me and don't like, other people. We all can't get along all the time, right? But their response and their reaction to me and to other people is so disproportionate and so out of line. And
And it
this
just
whole
goes on.
it's like, do you really see me saying all that much out there? Not too much, no.
No,
No, I'm
no.
not harassed. I'm not harassed. But that recording that Jeff Spilling dropped me in a comment and a link, when I listened to that, it made me sick. She contacted my son. Why? To
I
say
know.
what? You made the most logical point about that too. I'm a grown adult. Like, what are they going to do? Ground me?
Right. Even if you were doing anything at all, what would
Hmm.
they possibly do? Like, come up, yeah, take away your car, do what?
Yeah. Another thing is too, she was saying, so I noticed Tracy was, Peace and Excellence was live today, and I listened to the first 4 minutes of it. And Ollie's upset that somebody who she enlisted to deceive people and to play games backstabbed her. And so she's very mad about this. And she went to the police. She called the district attorney in my county. She called my police department. They all told her the same thing they've been telling her for a year. File a police report in your own city. And then if it escalates, we'll find out. So she then made another appointment with her police department for Friday to report me because somebody recorded her and sent me a clip of it, of her admitting she's harassing me. I mean, it's like, what is she
Right.
expecting
And
me?
so is she going to come gaslighting? Is that what she would say? But they run, but it's not gaslighting. It's their own voice. And also they have these live streams for hours. That's why I'm saying I'll go and I just click and hear your name repeatedly over and over and over and over. And I'm like, holy crap, man. Like, what's the gig? Is there nothing else? Like, it
Well, it's like, look
seems
at CVX. Look at
extreme.
CVX, for instance. I had never had a conversation with her. Okay. I don't
Yeah.
know her. I don't even know where the heck she came from. She just hates me. And I understand what the catalyst to that was, but it actually even started before all that. Because I was like, when did she show up? And I looked through my comments and my email, and I found her back in like August of last year. And I'm like, you know, so CVS just slanders me all over. She goes into chats that are my people I've known for years and years and years, and and all this stuff. She shows up just to slander me, and then if people don't go along with what she says, she kind of backs them into a corner, right? And almost bullies them. She strong arms them into, well, why do you like her? She's it's really bizarre. I had the first conversation really I've ever had with her last night. I tried to just ask her some logical questions about things
This was Tracy?
with CVX.
Oh, see, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got totally lost there for a second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with
Okay.
CVX last night. And,
Yeah.
you know, she brought up my uncle, or I brought up my uncle who died, and her saying I was faking it and all that stuff, and just to kind of like help her understand. And she apologized, and it made me, I started to get emotional. I started to tear up.
Yeah.
And when you have those moments, Tracy, where you get emotional like that, and then it's, you kind of cut it off at bay. You stop because you don't want to,
Right.
and you try and like just like walk it off, kind of. Well, that's what happened. Like I started to tear up and get emotional about it, and I was like, no, no, thinking to myself like, no, not right now.
Yeah.
And I just stopped and I moved on. Well, here there, I probably went on about this for who knows how long today. Oh, she started her fake tears. She started fake cry. It's like, why is everybody else allowed to have emotions except for me or for the people they don't like? Like nobody else, I can't have an emotional moment. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just such
I
blatant.
exactly know what you're saying because
They did it
early,
to you.
yeah, and earlier in my live stream, that was why I came on because I had a live stream earlier, and I tried to stay away from drama, and I've been trying to be positive and not bring things up
Yes.
on here. But I am seeing, people and they're expressing their emotions, and people will be like, well, right behind them, like right there at the point, and I'm like, wow. But when it was me expressing what was going on, people were, oh, she's this, she's that, and it snowballed to where I was almost ostracized, you
Yes, you
know?
were. Yes, you
Yeah,
your emotions were minimalized, right? They were
yeah.
minimalized, and it was not fair. And it was completely, completely just it just showed the disingenuous nature of the concern they showed prior to that moment, right? That's how I felt when I was listening to it, and it was troubling because it was like, wow,
I
you
felt
really,
like I was went through that with different live streams too, you know, where it was like it just didn't matter that, you know, it didn't seem to matter to people that I had a valid reason why I felt so angry and hurt, not just angry, hurt too, because there was a time, you know, here I was trying to prove I had cancer to people.
That whole situation was so disgusting and so shameful and so horrible for you. I have a hard time thinking about it myself
I'm just happy that, you know, it
anything that
seems
I did.
now things are better.
I still carry so much shame from that and humiliation and just disgust in myself for that whole situation.
I think everybody just
Then
got caught
they
up in
doubled
it.
down on that. Then they fucking doubled down on it. I'm sorry about my language, but I'm really, really frustrated with these women. And it's just simply because their whole purpose at this point is to isolate and to hurt and to cause distress to, quite frankly, I mean, all I'm doing is responding. You know what I mean? Like I barely even respond very much anymore. I don't even do very many funny parodies or anything like that. You know, it's like
It's exhausting.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
miss
exhausting.
I missed your channel. I love the internet.
Yeah. I had a moment where I took everything down, Mr. Rourke. I took everything down, all of it. And what happened was, I had the police show up here on the day before, on New Year's Eve day, saying that somebody reported a child screaming from my home. And there was no child screaming. They were trying to swat me, basically. It was a false report that came from somebody from this group. And at that moment, I was like, you know what? This isn't worth it. This is absolutely ridiculous. So I hid everything on my channels. I hid everything. All my
And that
videos
sucks
on my
when you
main
put so
channel.
much work into something, because you had other videos too,
I
like
had
your
other stuff
vaccine.
too. I did on my main, but I didn't care. At that point, I didn't care. And you know what happened? They ramped it up. It got worse. I go
It
away.
did.
I take down all this content that they don't like, and they got worse. And it was like, okay, clearly this doesn't work, right? If I leave and everything's gone, they're not happy with that either. So I've been kind of lingering, you know, just to kind of I don't know why they seem to calm down when I linger, but now me lingering, they're ramping it up again too, because now they have this safety in numbers, right? They feel great. No, I
And they
shouldn't.
think
Nobody should have
everybody
to
is
prove
you
anything to
anyway. If
anybody.
somebody different comes in there, they think it's you, and
They
you
have
know
now
everybody.
they've gotten so out of control that they go around to different groups and live chats and literally like rally people and campaign themselves and lobby. They almost lobby their cause
I
against
feel like that's
me.
what Vern was doing to me for a long
Yes, he
time.
was. That's
Yeah,
exactly what he was doing. Yes, he
and he had
was.
a platform. People were giving him platforms, like Chosen One was
Oh
giving
yeah.
him the platform. You
Jersey
know,
with
going in there
chosen one.
to reach
Yeah.
170,000 people by
Actually, Debbie would give him a platform too.
yeah,
Yes, she would.
yeah, and somebody else too, you know, from a different state that does the same thing as Tom would give him a platform, like even more so than anybody. And
Oh
so,
yeah.
you know, here's CW with 170,000 subscribers listening, you know, so if people get curious, oh, look at this chick, she's fake, she's doing, you know, I mean,
You know
what,
what, Tracy? Since I went in there that day and kind of held the flame to his seat,
yeah,
does he go live very much? Has he been going live very much anymore?
no, not much anymore, no. And Bobbles took him off her channel too. I guess he put her phone number up somewhere and said, you know, for, you know, a good time, basically call kind of thing.
No.
Yeah.
What a dick. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with Bobbles. I don't know. Like I said, I've only been to her channel one time when she was having a live, and I just said hello and I made a comment on the topic, and then I left. You know, So I'm not exactly sure what happened, but one of my a good friend of mine did message me. I saw when I woke up saying, saying somebody was saying that I was being mean to Bobbles. I don't mean to Bobbles. I don't even know her. I think she's cute, but I've never interacted with her. I have no reason to be mean to her. So she said it was Debbie who was saying that, which is, yeah, that's a viable
Right,
source of
when she
info.
would. Yeah, but I think you and Bobbles talked a little bit on
On
the
Vern's
live
channel.
stream. Yeah, and Vernstein. I think her mindset at that point was like, yeah, but she said she never said that, and and then she heard him
Oh,
say, yeah, but
that's
if she
right.
got a problem with me, then that means she's got a problem with you. And she said, yeah, well, that, like he was meaning like she's supposed to not like you because he doesn't, not that you were doing anything. And then that's when it clicked for like, oh, wait a minute. He doesn't mean
That's
she's
right.
messing with me. He just, yeah. And so, but she seems pretty adamant to her thought that she makes her own decisions about people. And, she did hear
I,
a lot about, oh, don't be friends with this one, don't be friends with that one, from a certain person. And she's been,
I like
seeing more.
Bubbles. I
I
like
like her
Bubbles.
too.
I think she's cool. She's got a cool personality. She's a free spirit. She's, not
Brave
embarrassed
too.
to talk about adult topics and have fun. Like, I like her. I think she's a cool girl. So it's
Yeah, she's
unfortunate that
brave. She'll talk about things that a lot of people won't say,
oh
but
yeah,
they're true.
they are true. So I don't know what this drama was that happened on her channel. I didn't see it, but
I heard Babos say, okay, Babos was a mod on Chosen One's channel, and one night, she had made the comment, we should run around you know how he's got the light pole in the front of his yard there?
Yeah.
She
yeah.
goes, we should run around the light pole naked. And then, after she said that, it was right after that he unmodded her, and I asked her. I said, "Was that because of the light pole comment you made?" And she goes, "Ah ha ha! No, he told me it was something else." And then I heard her. I think she said it was because he watched one of her lives, and he heard her say the C word, and that's why it was. But she was kind of upset that she was unmodded. And then after she was unmodded, she felt Tom had pumped up Sharon's channel, and she kind of thought she was undeserving of all the subs, the equipment, the cameras, the light, the laptop, and so she said that how she felt. It's her channel. I think if you got a channel, you can say whatever the hell you want. And then what happened is all the people on her panel, instead of saying, okay, you feel that way or whatever, they all said, hey, you're going to get backlash for this. Don't say that, And then they basically started fighting her, and every one of them, her friend JC Bear, he got totally quiet. Her
Nobody
friend
defended her.
No, her friend Jamie B, he totally went off the show. He wasn't even on the show. Her friend BP started going, Bubbles, quit! I don't fucking want to hear it. And I was thinking to myself, damn man, I'd be hitting the block button right there. She ain't gonna drive me crazy on my own show. But then Bubbles was like, that's my friend, and blah blah blah. Then what happened? BP ended up calming down. And then as soon as she calms down, Rita comes in. Fuck you fucking bitch. I don't know who the fuck you think you are, bitch, and you married to a crackhead. And
wait, time out, Mr. Rourke, time out. Who were they saying this to?
Rita was saying that to Bobbles.
What?
Yeah, and what happened was Rita had blocked BP, and then Bobbles found out about it, and then went ahead and unmodded Rita, and then remodded a BP, And then they were talking about it. I guess Rita got upset, and when she came back on the show, she was full of FUs.
Oh my God, it was bad.
She has some pretty crazy breakdowns on her panels before. I've heard about other ones where it, like shit, it really hit the fan. It was like epic.
No, I
Like,
mean, like Rita, I couldn't believe because you know how you don't know how somebody, talks and who they
yes,
are,
yes.
and then so here
She's
comes,
been around for a long time, Tracy, right? Like in Tom's chat and shit. She's been around for a
yeah, but
minute.
she didn't go live,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Didn't
so
she
she
moon
came
the
on. I go,
camera? Didn't she
you
moon
mother,
everybody?
huh?
Didn't she pull her pants down?
She did?
All I know is the message I got from my friend was like, it was just describing all this stuff. And she had mentioned that Rita pulled her pants down, apparently.
Were
I
you
didn't
there
see
for that,
that.
Mr. Rourke?
I didn't see that, but what she was doing, she was going la 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 la, and Bubbles goes, "Aren't you a little bit old to be doing the la la song?"
Maybe I misinterpreted what that meant. Maybe there was, a subliminal,
I
like
think I heard that too, though, about the pants thing.
oh, you
Not,
did too? These
yeah, I'm
these
not
live streams
certain.
get to poetic levels of rage, and so. But what were they? So they were mad because Bobbles said that Sharon V didn't deserve her shit that she got. Well, maybe she didn't. I mean, who cares? The bottom line, poor
Oh, it's
Bobbles.
a big turmoil now going on.
Oh dear God,
And then
God,
Sharon did a live stream, and she was just like body shaming Bobbles, like wicked bad through the whole thing.
she was.
Yeah, yeah. Did you
She
see that,
doesn't seem
Mr.
like the
Rourke?
type who would go. Wow.
I think she kind of like changed her tune though, and is not gonna keep fighting with Bobbles. I think she's going back to like trivia games and stuff like that. Um, because
It was my idea.
uh,
Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Rourke.
yeah, it's just because I don't think she really wants to fight and to be like a drama, and when you're fighting like you have to be able to back up your words, be a good debate, think fast, and you know how to speak well. You can speak. You got the voice. You're good at it. Somebody that just starting out, I would say like her. She's gonna have. I watched and I had a hard time watching because one problem I had was when she would start talking, she would be in mid sentence and then start talking about another thing, and I'd be like, damn, this girl's gonna get me using dope because I'm starting to get confused.
I follow you now.
Hey, when I watch Chosen One and I start, I get sad because it feels depressing, and I start thinking, damn, I'm gonna kill myself. My goodness, I'm like, I can't watch no more. So I kind of, I didn't get blocked or nothing. I just quit watching.
Yeah, I quit watching him too. Couldn't take
You know
it
what's so
anymore.
funny, you guys? His interviews used to give me panic attacks. I'm not kidding you. Watching the people, I would get anxiety from it. And so I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, I can't watch these interviews anymore because I would get like epic levels of anxiety where I just felt like I was drowning and like it was so.
I think it's the sound he plays. I'm telling you, and I did that like research about people who can create a certain kind of vibes in people by sound, and then they can, bring the whole room, like the sound of an airplane taking off, or microphone
Yeah,
feedback, or even certain music can create the
temporal
atmosphere of
vibrations,
the
I think
room.
it's called, right? Temporal vibration. And
Yeah, the vibrations,
yes,
and
yes, they're
that
powerful.
if somebody, like, say a politician comes out and they want to start putting down a politician they're running against or something, if the microphone does feedback, it can create a feeling of nausea, sickness inside of you because of the bad vibes kind of thing. So when they come out
Really?
screaming about someone they hate, everybody puts it off to that person. Like they're like, oh, that person does make me sick, you know?
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know about that. Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, it can go real deep. Like if somebody is that, reads up on all that, it's like a scientifically proven. They've done tests.
Yes, it is. And there's healing to it too, because I listen to a lot of different um, uh, things that have, the vibrations where it creates a certain healing response within you, right? Within your brain and other things. And I have to say they work. There's a few in particular that really have helped me with some issues where, when I'm listening to them when I fall asleep, and it's given me some healing in certain areas of things that I needed, and it worked. I can say with confidence, for me at least, it worked. But
Yeah, and the opposite
maybe
on the
we need
flip
to start doing
side, it
temporal
can work
vibrations.
negative too.
Yeah, maybe we need to start doing that, like humming or something while
Oh.
we do.
La 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 la.
Poor Bobbles, man, though, because I do think she doesn't want drama. She just wants to have fun, do trivia and stuff. But it seems like it winds up there, and she definitely isn't equipped to handle the sudden onslaught of, like massacre.
Well, Debbie made a video talking about it too, and that I think is what put me over the edge to come on here and say I just have to get something out in the air, because I, Debbie's video was all about how, what happened and, this and that, and how, Rita was so venomous and all this stuff. And she just talked very, and I'm thinking, God, like, does this woman forget what she did to me?
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what gets me is
unprovoked.
how it's
Unprovoked.
okay for one person to express their feelings, and then, but another person, it's not. Like one person comes out like a rose doing the same thing, but somebody else is always
These, yeah,
berated.
these people
Yeah.
they all practice the appeal to ignorance, right? So when they're saying these things that would make absolutely no sense whatsoever to people who accept, things like common sense and reality and everything else, that makes you a critical thinker. When people like Debbie do these things, she does, it's a fallacy, right? The appeal to ignorance. So she just assumes everybody in her audience is going to be ignorant enough just to believe what she says, just because she said it, and and they do.
Well, yeah, they do. And a lot of these particular streams, they do believe, what, or even if they know the truth, some of them, they don't even say anything because they don't want to be out of that stream. They don't want to cause anything, but they might not realize that someone who maybe they're just, it's just bad behavior.
It's
Does
very. Was Debbie blaming me for things in that video? Somebody said that she was saying something was my fault, and I'm not sure what I did.
does Debbie realize what platform she's um this isn't Playboy, and not only is it not Playboy, who's looking at a 46-year-old? I mean, not that people won't, but she's posting those pictures. So I went over, I looked, then I went down to the comments section. And I was like, who's commenting? And then I was like, oh my goodness, there's only one person that commented, and guess who it was?
Fine.
Sparkling Stacy.
I don't know who that is. I go Vern Specular.
It's the girl that she likes Byron from Canada.
Oh, okay. I don't know her.
Yeah, she got blocked off of Byron's channel.
See, I went to Byron's a couple of times, but I haven't seen them doing any live streams lately.
The last time I was on Byron's channel, he told me not to come back.
Why?
Do you remember we were playing the trivia game, and it was me, Miss Passion, and Survivor Girl, and then he came back. He went to the bathroom, and then when he came back, he started saying, "If you're not here for me, then you shouldn't be here." And I said, "Is Byron mad?" And then he goes, "If you have to ask if I'm mad, then you don't know me." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, is he mad because I'm
talking to Survivor Girl and Miss Passion, and I don't know if he did get mad over that because it's like a petty thing, but he got mad and he said, don't come back, and he was and he said, oh, I'm not mad, but he was on for 6 hours, and for 6 hours he kept on saying he wasn't mad.
Yeah, I was there and I didn't know you got blocked.
Oh no, I didn't get
thought you
blocked. He didn't block me. He just told me not to come back.
I
But
thought you just left me in the wind there. I was like, I was like, I'm sitting
hey,
there going, I don't understand. Are you mad at me? And he's going, well, if it doesn't apply to you, then I'm not mad at you. And I'm like, but I'm the only one here, so you're yelling at me. I'm not yelling at you, but I'm the only one here. So it felt like it was towards me. I just didn't know,
no, he would have never talked to a woman like that. It was because it had to have been me, because right after I remember what you said. You said he didn't say nothing. We thought you were to the bathroom, and then Miss Passion got on there and she goes, Byron, they support us, and he kept on, and I didn't want to say nothing. I think he's a nice person. I think it was maybe something else going on, and
Yeah, I think he
I
gets
just left
picked
it like
on.
that.
I think he gets picked on so much he might have just had a breaking point. You know what I mean? Like he gets just ripped on all the time. I don't understand why. He
I
seems
don't
like a really,
understand either why, because I think he's
but
very nice.
he's very
It's
nice and
that
stuff.
girl. It's that girl Stacy doing it. If it's
Yeah,
just not her doing it, it's somebody in her crew, because that's who it's either her or the white pot guy.
I don't.
White Hawk. White Hawk.
Yeah, he calls himself the White Tupac. He's the biggest tool I've ever seen. God, I just don't like him very much. But I love
I've
Byron's
never watched
TikTok
anything from
dances.
him. I didn't know that they're real. For a long time, I didn't think that there was like a real white Tupac. I thought maybe it was like a clone account. I didn't
I
know.
thought so too, Trace. That's what I thought too. And then I
Yeah,
found the guy. I'm like, oh my God, you're real. Yuck.
I didn't think it was a real person. I thought it was all like this big fiasco thing. Just no,
But
I
I
had
have to
no
say,
clue.
Byron's TikTok dances they're absolutely fantastic. When he posts a TikTok dance, I get so excited because they make me happy. Like
How
seeing
about when he
Really?
works out?
he's a good dancer.
How about when he
Like
works out?
he works those make me happy too because he's just a positive guy and like he's
He's
dancing
always
and
been very
working out.
kind. I like both of them, Miss
I
Passion
do
and
too.
Byron.
I do too,
Yeah.
very much so.
She is actually fun. She has a good life. She likes to play the music. She'll talk, and she's like a DJ, and
Yes.
she'll be talking and she'll be partying with the chatters. What was going on there was she didn't have the mod. She didn't really have the experience to know what she was doing, and then she had a lot of people coming in there with troll accounts, and they're doing the trolling.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. She's a nice person. She got a lot of shit from, from things and I just, you know, I just people just need to stop. Okay.
He had
Like
major trolls going in there. It was like way too many. There was like a time there when there was like clones of everybody.
yeah, they cloned me recently. I mean there's Tracy, another account of Cash popped up the other day, commenting places. I mean, it's just gotten so out of control that it's like I just can't look and they cloned little Brat, remember little Donna? They cloned Donna and she was talking all this crap. I mean, so I messaged her and it wasn't her. I think Laura does a lot of these clones. I don't really even care anymore. They just need to shut the hell up about my children and calling you know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
it's
On the
so
police, something that is just not even.
like some
I
people have been
remember
following
the
this
cops
stuff
about
for the good portion of a year now, right? And I've still yet to see Ollie show any type of evidence that I've done any of these things she claims I've done. She can't because I didn't. it's this, witch hunt that they have for certain people. They just need to just shut up and stop.
I can't
Stop.
even imagine like I how long it must be going on. 'Cause I didn't used to, like I wasn't always here, so way I'm seeing it is you've probably been going through it for longer than I was.
I don't know. I just I've had this particular group of people with the revolving door of characters that show up on me for about 6 years now, and it's my own fault because I respond. But even if I don't respond, they keep going. So I just think my best bet is just avoid, just not even listen to what they're saying and their threats and
It's
everything
hard
else.
to not listen though because you know that's tough. People will say things, like ignore it, just ignore it. They were saying it to me, for a while, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's tough. It's hard to just ignore.
She started texting Jeff again, Tracy. She sent Jeff these messages that were absolutely horrendous.
Recently?
Yesterday, yeah, yesterday,
Yesterday?
yeah, yeah.
Why?
Long ones with pictures and video. I mean, it was just, thank God he's reasonable and knows enough about what's going on to know what's true and what's not true. And
Yeah,
it
but I haven't
doesn't,
seen you doing anything. Like, why would she do that?
I don't know, because she got exposed. Because her
Oh,
friend, who she and, had play a part that she wanted, turned coded on her and, you know, gave me
that,
evidence that she's been doing what I'm proclaiming she's doing, and she couldn't handle it.
Hey, wouldn't you love to interview Dr. Lorna?
Yes.
who's Dr. Lorna?
Her therapist, she always
Let's,
talks about Lorna.
Hi,
Oh,
Dr. Lorna. Would you like to talk about patient, blah, blah, blah?
Oh, God.
that was, hey, what if there isn't any Lorna?
There might not be.
Well, who did she
Lorna,
buy? Who did she get that card for? Or she? Hey, no doctor ever in my life has ever given me a gift card. Remember the gift card for Christmas that she got a $50 gift card?
You've been watching for a little while, huh, Mr. Rourke?
Hey,
hey,
I can,
Mr.
I
Rourke
can,
is he's
I can quote the shit out of that woman.
Do you think I
Shit,
can quote the shit out of that woman?
hell yeah.
Mr. Rourke called me. He called me one day, right? And I
Yeah.
didn't recognize the number. We hadn't spoken yet at this point, and he blocked his number. And well, I just so happened to have a unblocking app that I installed on my phone, so I don't answer blocked numbers. But it unmasked his number and gave me the number, so I called him right back. And he answers the phone and he goes, "That's a pretty cool trick."
Yeah, right? That's funny that he called you. I didn't know you guys talked on the phone.
Yeah, we talked on the phone. We had a great conversation. He just asked me some questions about my opinions on certain things, and he gave me like his insight and stuff. And I asked him about Detroit. We had a really lovely conversation about stuff. And that had to go because I had stuff going on with the kids at the time. But when, after we'd spoken for a little while, but yeah, we had a great little chit chat. But yeah, it was real funny when because his number was blocked and I called him right back and he's like, that was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool trick or something. I don't know. But it could have gone one or two ways. It could have gotten nasty, right? Which there was no reason for it to, for him to be nasty or me to be nasty. But we just kind of laughed it off and chit chatted and it was cool. But yeah, he knew about, I mean, about everything. Like he's like
Yeah, I
the
know.
well, it's so funny that
I don't.
everyone is
I learned to pay attention, and if you pay attention, you'll figure things out. Well, you should figure things out. Maybe not, but
Now, did all that like interest in like watching all this what's going down? Did it start from watching Tom's channel, and then you just said, "Wow, these people are fucked. I gotta see what's going on."
Okay, so it started watching kind of like Maddie do the hustle. Like going to the truck stop, what was going on at the truck stop, what were they doing? I started watching. I could tell she was lying. I quit kind of watching her. Then I started watching Nitty. After watching Nitty for a while, I would watch I would watch your channel once in a while, Survivor Girl. I watched Tiffany's channel. I would watch Miss Passion's channel. I would watch Ollie's channel once in a while. What I would do is I would I would look at and be like, what are your qualities? What do you bring to the table? What are you guys good at? Are you making good videos? Are you guys just fighting? So basically, like, what talents do you have talent in the game?
You're so funny. He's been
I think,
analyzing us all this time.
He
but
is.
listen to this. With everyone's got talent out there, and what happens is you guys are all going to fight each other. Unless you guys find a way to unite it and make it work, then you guys could really build something huge. I mean, that would be worldwide.
Mr. Rourke, I tried to befriend a lot of these people. I tried to befriend Ollie, right? I tried to befriend Debbie. I tried to befriend Laura. And what wound up happening is, although they tell a completely different story, I don't know what planet they're on, but I can say with, 100% honesty and confidence and conviction, proof if I ever needed it, they all turned on me. They all started, because the problem is when they disliked, just in my case, when they dislike me, they get a lot more views, they get a lot more support, they get a lot more people on their side. And I think what winds up happening is they don't want that unity, they don't want that peace amongst the masses, because a lot of these people are looking for they're seeking attention and some sort of validation in their life as like being a victim or whatever the case. So when you bring on that peace, they lose all this stimulation that they need and all this reassurance that they need and for themselves that they're seeking out to begin with by their behavior, right? So it's like I really tried to make peace with everyone and be cool and be a good friend and nice, and yeah, no, they didn't really want it. So it's kind of like
They have unity though, even as they are, as being mean. Like it's like, yeah, seems like you said, the drama. It seems to bring more views for them and all that. So yeah,
they keep it going.
Yeah.
I tried to turn it into like an art form, like a comedy. Tried to take over.
I always told you were so good at that.
It's gotten to a point now though where it's like I can't even find. Well, I'll send you some videos I made today, Tracy. That when I was at the beach, that if you'll probably understand them. They're kind of funny, but I'm not going to post them because I'm really trying to be low key and not,
Right. As
make
he said,
problems.
and as Mr. Rourke said about having talent, like that is one thing. Even though you and I, when we had like our times, I'd say that you're very talented and not,
She's got a great voice where she could do interviews for
great
news.
Voice.
She could actually she could go into real estate and sell houses easily just because of her voice. I'm sure she could always do like phone. She'd probably be great at phone sex if it's good.
Great. That'll be the next video up.
oh my God. Mr. Rourke, you want to know something funny? Currently,
sure.
As we speak right now, I'm actually in school to get my real estate license. So that was very intuitive, analysis you made. But the phone's like, you're fucking.
I could see both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, who do you get if you mix? Oh gee, her name's she was in the movie Misery.
Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates, but she had a character name. What her name was? Annie Wilkes.
Yes.
Annie Wilkes. If you take Annie Wilkes and Stuart Smalley, and if they have a child, who's the child?
Who's Stuart Smalley?
Ollie.
from Saturday Night Live.
Oh, wow.
You're good enough. You're smart enough.
Smart
and
enough and
goddamn-
doggone it, people like me.
Did you see that video I made, Mr. Rourke, where I refaced Ollie onto Stuart Smalley and I took a clip from one of her live streams and I
Mhm.
put it. You saw she had that taken down, by the way, Tracy, for privacy. I was so pissed.
Really? I
That
thought
was
that was
so
a good
innocent.
one.
It was so innocently funny, right?
Do you
Because
want
it
to know
fit.
something?
Yeah.
She told me one time she didn't know who Stuart Smalley was.
Well, I showed her.
That's the guy from Saturday Night Live, though? Him?
It's Al Franken from Saturday Night Live. He used to do a character.
Yeah, he's the guy who did the motivational speaking. He'd talk in the mirror. And he'd
Is
go,
it the
"You're
one
good
who
enough."
you did the video of, though? You know who did?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
That
That's
was
We
Al
could
one.
go
Franken?
on-
I didn't know that was Al Franken.
You can go on YouTube and see he like does some pretty good ones with Michael Jordan.
Oh, I'll have to check that out. I thought it was just a skit on. I mean, is that a real person, Stuart Smalley, or is it just
He was a
character?
congressman.
Yeah,
He became a congressman.
but
yeah.
he got in trouble. He got trouble for sexual harassment or something and had to resign.
These pictures surfaced of him like pretending to grope a woman's chest when she was asleep. And then another one turned up of him pretending to grope a Joy Bear's chest during a photo op at a awards ceremony. So he got Me Too'd out of the Senate of the Congress.
Really? I didn't hear
Weird.
that.
Yeah, it was all over the news years. It was a few years ago. This is right after Trump or before Trump became president. But he didn't really
Right.
do anything wrong. He just acted like a boy. He acted like a man. Like men act like that sometimes, I think. And all of a sudden, you can't because you'll get fired from your job.
Right.
But
Don't take pictures.
they'll take pictures and they'll cancel you.
Yeah, don't
But
do that. I
but
thought
yeah,
you were talking about like me. Remember Stuart from the show Mad TV?
yes. Yes,
How
I
about
do.
how about Stuart from Beavis and Butthead?
I don't remember who that was.
I don't remember that either, but I remember Stuart.
The
Watch
little
what I
blonde hair
can do.
guy.
Watch what I can do. And and Mad TV and Dot. Did you ever see her? Dot. Oh, that cracks me up. She got the
Yes.
gloves. Oh my god, I liked Mad TV. It was funny.
I miss all those shows like In Living Color. That was so funny too.
That
Fire
was a
Marshal
good
Bill. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I had a mash. I mean, Jim Carrey was brilliant on that show. And then there was who else did they have on there? They had Homie the Clown.
And
They had Homie the
Handyman.
Clown. They had let's see, they were the two gay guys hated it.
Oh yeah, Around the World and Back Snap.
Yeah, then they had
I give that 2 snaps and a half circle.
Yeah, that was a good one. And they had the head detective.
they had what's her name? Juanita Bonita.
Oh yeah, Wanda.
Don't talk
I
about
ain't
Miss.
saying nothing about that.
Oh yeah, that's right. That lady. Oh my god, she cracked me. But I didn't say anything. Oh, that always reminds me of like when I'm on here and I want to say something about something, and I'll be like, but I'm not saying.
I do the same. That was they
Yeah,
had
don't
great
feel the
characters.
same
They had
way.
Handyman. Remember?
He'd fall out the window.
Oh my god. If
I
they
like the
did
Dave Chappelle show too. That was a good one.
oh
Do you
my
know
god.
a really good one on Saturday Night Live is the ambiguously gay duo.
Oh my god, that was so funny too.
It
I
is.
saw
It's like set up in the way where you just laugh nonstop till the skit's over. You're like, damn, that's nasty.
They're
That's
like
the
those
new Saturday
superheroes.
Night Live.
Saturday.
The new one though, the newer ones.
No, they're probably from like the '90s, early 2000s when they had that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because
Yeah.
I don't think is Saturday Night Live still on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just not very funny anymore. It
Oh
was
my
funny when
God.
they had that one chick who did the impersonations of who was the first press secretary for Trump? That guy, that short guy. What was his name? Sean.
Oh,
Anyways,
um,
they had that funny chick do impersonations of the first uh, press secretary for Trump, and that was the most recent time I laughed at Saturday Night Live, and haven't laughed much since or before that. But they got too political. You know, they're too PC now.
I'll
They used to be
circle back with you.
Yeah,
do
yeah.
you know do you know who that one is?
Wait, which one?
I'll circle back with you.
Yeah, what was his name though?
No, that's the current press secretary, the redheaded girl. She always says, "I'll circle
Oh,
back with
I'll
you."
circle back with you. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no. I thought, but who? Okay, Mr. Roke, who was President Trump's first press secretary? The little guy.
Uh, um, he got he's
He was
kind of
good.
like gray hair, and he had like kind of like blue eyes.
Yeah, he's on Dancing with the Stars.
He is?
He after he quit, he went on Dancing with the Stars and
Oh my
it did
God.
horribly.
I
Oh God, what was
I
his
can't
name?
remember. I
But
know
he would get
Keely.
really mad, really mad. Remember when she did that
Well,
skit where she brought out the she was doing like ad libs with the props. She was bringing out like poops and like all that. She was chewing all that gum. What the hell? Oh, this
They
is
would
gonna be
get mad
what
about
does the
Alec
new one
Baldwin
mean
too.
when she'll go, I'll circle back with you?
Oh, that's the new press secretary. She says that all the time. She's a
Yeah,
bro.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
she's a
still her
real.
way to avoid answering the question.
Yeah,
what does that
yeah.
even mean?
I don't think anybody knows. It's like her avoidance tactic.
That's her new, like, she's made up her own little quote or something?
That would be like if Ollie said, if somebody were to say to Ollie, you know, can you provide us with proof that you don't know who Jeff Spilling is or something like that? And her response would constantly be, I'll circle back with you. And she would explain what she just explained all over again, never answer the question. That's what this press secretary basically does. She's yeah, she's a character, that's for sure. But Biden's been a little bit of a disappointment, if you ask me.
Good
I don't
morning,
know.
everyone.
What, Mr. Rourke?
You didn't catch that? Good morning, everyone.
Oh my
Oh, is that
God,
what
that was
Biden said?
Hi. Hi, Marker. Hi,
Oh.
Barry. Hi, Net.
I'm going, is that what
Oh,
Biden says?
and you women are worse than the bully.
I'm starting to think this might be Jeff's feeling.
yeah, right. Hello,
This is
everybody. It's me, Ollie.
this is a safe space.
Yeah, do you know how many times I've heard that from live streams, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, real safe, man.
No
Real safe.
BSing. Body shaming.
Yeah.
Is that what that doesn't mean that? He's bullshitting, right?
No,
No.
she used to say that shit.
I'm not the sharpest tool on the shed, you know.
She used to go on camera, Tracy, and she would like just have these like I don't know venting sessions where she would tell everybody how
Hey.
she felt.
She did this.
Yeah, it was gnarly. Like she would just come unglued. And
I
material.
I'm gonna take a little drink of my Southern Comfort and Pepsi. I mean Pepsi.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she would go on camera and come absolutely unglued on people, and it was she was just downright honest in her, in her thoughts.
Oh, I know, right?
Does she not like mirrors?
Does she not what?
Does she not like mirrors?
I don't think she likes a lot of things like integrity and self-respect and
There's no mirrors to see herself in there. And then when she does that, she puts the camera on the chair. And I think to myself, am I talking to a therapist right now? And should somebody be in that chair? Or,
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
look at
she's
me. I was aiming at my cat all the time. Everybody thought I was yelling at my cat.
you were,
I'd be
oh,
like, I am sick of you sitting there in your chair, just, and I'm like, my poor cat, the look on its face, when I'd like watch it back when somebody would say, what did the cat do?
Roscoe, quit mouth breathing. Do you remember when what's his name? What's Rocky, or is that your other dog's name? And he was mouth breathing.
oh
My
yeah,
dog
yeah,
was.
No,
yeah, no,
not Roscoe. I'm talking about
Rocky.
Tiffany's dog,
Yeah,
Rocky.
Rocky,
She
the
goes,
big lab
quit
was mouth
mouth
breathing.
breathing.
When I was doing the sausage finger parody of Ollie, I had the hot dog or the
Yeah.
sausage. I put the fake fingernail on and I was scrolling through my iPad.
Yeah. But I was just, do you say
And all
your
the
dog
dogs,
stop mouth breathing?
well, what happened was is all the dogs smelt the damn sausage I was using as a prop, and next thing you know, they're all creeping up on me.
Hey,
So I
you
put
gotta
them.
you gotta watch an episode of Caesar Milan. If you ever have any problems with your dog, watch Caesar, and it works. I used to have pit bulls, and my dogs are awesome. I mean, you can train a dog to be perfect. What it is that the dog will only go so far as the owner, or because basically it's the owner. Because if the owner lets the dog get away with bad behavior, the dog will go ahead and do that. And what happens is that dog will know that if you're not a pack leader, he's going to go ahead, or the dog will go ahead and take over the pack and become the pack leader.
I used to watch Caesar Milan. I loved
I
him.
do too.
If,
Tracy,
if your dog,
did I text you the picture of Teddy of when I came home the other night from dinner with Jeff, how I found him? Did I send that to you? Did I text you that?
I feel like you did, but I'm not sure. What was
I'm
it?
gonna, it was, he had a couple things, different things in his mouth.
Oh my God. Teddy's a
Okay,
character.
I'm gonna send you this right now. If I drop, I'll be right back. But hold on, let me send you. You will absolutely die when you see how I found this dog. It is the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Teddy is a character, her dog. I thought you said I had said Roscoe quit mouth breathing.
oh no, I said Roscoe, quit mouth breathing. But I was just, I was
Yeah, and I'm like, did I say that to my dog one time? But you said that
no.
Tiffany said to Rock. That is so funny. That's funny. But I have said that before, like on my video, like, you know, sometimes I'll be like to somebody if they're with me, and I'll be like, oh, they're breathing, mouth breathing. And I'm like, oh God, I must sound horrible. You're
That's
funny
usually
though.
that's usually a sign of nervousness for the dog.
Well, yeah, yeah. I like Caesar Milan. Everything that he says, I was watching it one time where this lady's dog, she was saying, that the dog wouldn't go beyond this, like it wouldn't leave the alleyway where their back door came out through this alley and then it ended up on the main street. She had just had a baby, and so she would try to walk the dog and the baby, and and the dog wouldn't go, out to the main road. But it turned out that it was her that wouldn't go out to the main road, and the dog was
And
feeling her nervousness.
animals feed off your energy.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely they do. I really am glad I got my dog.
Oh, companions are great.
Yes,
Roscoe's awesome. Roscoe's an awesome little dog.
I think Teddy has a lot of character. You've had him for a while, right?
He's 3, so I've had him for since he was about 2 months old. So 3 years now.
Oh, all
But
right. That's
Teddy's
how old is.
oh, they're the same age, yeah, yeah, yeah. Teddy's 3. Teddy's a character, man. Oh, you know what? You won't be able to see it because you're in your stream. when you get off your stream and you see this picture, I'll explain it. So we went to dinner and we came home, and Teddy normally runs up to me, right? Like he can't help it. It's like he loses it. But he didn't run up to me. I'm like, what the hell's, where's Teddy at? Right? It was awfully weirdly quiet. So I come upstairs and I catch him walking down the hallway, and I'm like, Teddy, and he jumps. And I'm like, what's in your what's in your belt? And he turns around and he won't look at me. And I look at him, and this dog, and I shit you not, you guys, he's got a pizza crust and a $20 bill hanging out of his mouth. Both, but when you see this picture, you'll die.
Where did he get the $20 bill from?
I have no clue. I don't even know where he got the pizza crust from. But I'm like, what were you doing right now, Teddy? Like, where are you going?
He's
So
got to get a stash of money somewhere.
well, he did. Okay. And I didn't realize this until just today. So he took the pizza crust and the 20 and he hid him in his little dog house. That's actually a cat house, but he liked it. So I got it for him under the mat, under like the pad.
Yeah.
So I went to the thing and I'm like, what do you got in here, Teddy? So he came running and he grabbed the pizza crust, but he left the money. And I'm like, where's he getting this money? So today he had, when we were at the beach, he had emptied out his entire toy box of toys in the hallway. He was bored, I guess.
Yeah.
So when I went to go pick them up, I go and look at his goddamn toy box of his toys. And he had about, I don't know, like $53 at the bottom of his toy box that
No
he had been
way.
stealing. Yes, he's been stealing money from people. I mean, it has to be me, but what's he saving up for? That's what I want to know. What was Teddy?
Even my dog, Roscoe, who will take a lot of things, but he leaves money alone. So Teddy must
Does
have
he
been
hide the
watching
things?
you use it.
He hides the things too, right, Tracy? He'll hide the things he takes. Because we talked about this before, and he'll stash them
Only
for
if
later
it's
time.
weed. Only if it's weed. And that's true. True story. And freaking, I'm so glad that I heard him wrinkling the little bag. Like he was like, this was a while ago. It wasn't recent, Let's get that out. But he,
Oh my God.
yeah, like he was all, I got your stash. And
They're
wrinkling
sneaky
it.
about it too.
Yeah, wicked
right?
sneaky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Under the
such
chair.
little shits. Teddy hides he takes all kinds of things and he hides them, but he doesn't have one spot. He has places like all over the house. Like he'll appear out of nowhere and all of a sudden he'll have like half a calzone. I'm like, where the hell did you get that? The other day he
Half
came
a
out of,
calzone.
I shit you not. He emerged from Cash's room one day and he had then the other day he comes out of Cash's room, he had a goddamn taco. I'm like, okay, I know I'm not dropping food like this. Like I'm not that messy.
Oh my God, I wonder if Cash is hiding food in his room.
The dog is usually like the owner. So do you have any of these behaviors?
Oh my God.
He's hiding food around the house and shit.
Stealing money, hiding food. Well, you don't. If you ask a certain group, they will corroborate that opinion. It'll be like, yep, he learned from Tiffany. But no, I'm not stealing food or hiding food and stealing money. But I think, I mean, one day I got into bed, to go to sleep, and there's an entire hot dog under my pillow.
No, sir.
Look, it happens all the time. I've kind of gotten used to the food thing, but the money was just like, it kind of, shook me a little bit because he's got to be getting it from me, but I didn't even notice it was missing. Like, what?
Maybe that's why he's doing it, is to, like Mr. Rourke said, to make you develop some kind of behaviors, like to notice, hey, some money's missing.
Maybe he's investing.
Oh, maybe. He could be.
Does he have any stock tips?
The only tip he ever gave me is he told me to buy into Dogecoin. That one with the meme of the dog. He liked that crypto.
Not Bitbone.
Yeah, no Bitbone. He does.
or Panera Bread.
Panera Bread is one of his top buys. Yes.
Yeah, because what is it, grass fed or something?
Yeah,
Grass fed kibble.
grass-fed kibble. Yeah, he enjoys that a lot, and he does want me to promote his OnlyFans. Everybody
Mm.
sub to Teddy on OnlyFans. His first collection on there is Teddy and a Teddy.
I
Does he
can
growl?
actually picture him doing that.
Does he make any growling noises?
Only at children.
Oh, wow.
You do what?
He only growls at children.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's a really friendly dog too. On top of it, he's so cute, and boy, is he nice. I feel so
Is
bad when
he
people want
friendly
to
or
pet
not?
him. What? Pardon me?
Is he friendly or no?
No, not one bit. No.
He
Which
lets
is
them know who's running the show then, huh?
Well, he's small, and he's if everybody was that much bigger than me, I probably wouldn't be all that friendly either. But
Yep, I get that.
People
They
see him.
they don't see size.
No, they do.
Teddy
Not
does.
really. When he went to the park and he was there and the bulldog was sniffing his butt, he wasn't scared of that damn bulldog. He was like, what the hell's wrong with this damn bulldog? He's like, let's get out of here.
Yeah,
But that was a pit bull, right? That you had.
It was a English bulldog puppy that didn't realize its own strength and kept trying to like slap box Teddy. It's so funny.
Going to the dog park. If you go to the dog park, if you're not ready for what you're about to witness, you might think to yourself, like, what the hell did I just step into? Because there's a lot of sniffing and humping going on.
There was a lot of sniffing and humping. Yeah. In fact, I even got humped by that bulldog puppy. It latched onto my leg. It bruised my leg. It had such a grip on my leg. It was awful. I was like, and the owner did not. Is a few months ago. Yeah. The owner did nothing.
I went to the dog park last week and these ladies, it was like, they were all, I don't know, they weren't wearing masks, which is fine. They don't have to wear masks. The only thing was I felt funny because I put the mask on just because at first, you don't know how people feel, right?
Yeah,
but
it's hard to
there
gauge.
was like this little French bulldog, Petey or something, and he was really going off on us. Like barking, right in our faces, like where Roscoe didn't even get off the bed. And finally, Roscoe just had enough of it and just started growling and barking. I can see Cashew, but for some reason, I just have to answer the chat. He wants to get in the live stream and talk, but I can see that you can't. But last time when you tried to get in, you had the same thing going on that Mr. Rourke had when he was trying to get in. So you have to block the camera in the middle and not the camera and the microphone.
That happened on that was happening on Agent's live stream. I think it was last night or the night before. One night somebody kept trying to get in and they were having that same error message come up. No mic or camera connected.
Can't get them in or something.
Yeah, there's some sort of glitch going on right now, but
yeah. But yeah, so we ended up leaving because, like you said, the owner, they didn't do anything, and I just felt really
uncomfortable,
funny.
right?
Yeah. But no, Roscoe isn't friendly either.
He's not. That makes me feel better.
Somebody comes right up to him and wants to start, petting and all that stuff. He's like,
he's uncomfortable. See, Teddy's like that too, and Teddy, people want to pet him all the time because he looks like a stuffed animal in person. Like I've carried him around before, and people have actually thought he was a toy. Like he was just like a stick because he's very stoic when we're out, and he's very still.
That's why they behave that way. It's because you believe that they're lap dogs and that you carry them around. When you carry them around, you're actually giving them more power. And what it is that, okay, when you both of you are walking your dogs and you got them on the leash, does the dog walk in front of you?
No, because I watch the Dog Whisperer too, and I know it's.
Or does he walk on the side of you, right on the side of you? If the dog walks in front of you, he's the leader of the pack.
Teddy tries to walk in between my legs. I'm not even
Oh.
kidding. He tries to walk in between my damn it is so annoying.
It's
He's
just
trying to trip
annoying.
you. He's trying to trip you and take all your money.
Yeah. And watch, this is how it can happen, like he's showing you. You just don't want anybody tripping you, mugging you, Tiffany. I've been taking your money for months.
He could be after your channel.
Did you get the $20 from his mouth that night, though?
Well, he put it in his doghouse, so I retrieved it from the doghouse and I took it back. Yes,
Because I was going
he
to
was
say,
more
because
concerned about me
instead of
getting the
53,
pizza
he would have
crust.
73.
That's a lot of money for a Pomeranian.
I know, right? He's
What the hell did he
ordering on
want?
Chewy.com.
What if he's a drug addict? What if he's got some like dope dealer he owes money to or something?
he did what?
Some cat's coming by with a bag of weed.
Don't they deliver weed now?
They do. Oh, you know what, you guys? I know how I can show you this picture. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, I think they deliver weed. They actually have a weed delivery.
Can you grow your own wheat there?
I think so. I think you can have like 3 plants or something.
We can
Yeah,
do
there's
like 12 here.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a whole everything included said March 17th is your birthday and you're 57 years old, Mr. Rourke. Happy belated birthday.
Excuse me, I'm 57 years old.
That's what everything included said. March 17th is your birthday and you're 57 years old, Mr. Rourke. Happy belated birthday.
Did I tell you how old I was already?
No. Oh, 46 or something, right?
Not 46.
47?
Yeah.
So you just turned 47? In March, right?
No, that's not my. Whoever that is incorrect.
You guys
Really?
see my picture?
Is it? Oh, it's in an avatar. It's small though. I'd have to make the screen bigger. Hold on.
Is that of your dog?
Oh, I can't.
That's Teddy on his pizza crust money run.
I can see the bill hanging out of his mouth.
Hey,
The
who's that
brown thing.
good-looking guy in the middle?
Who's that cute guy in the middle? He looks like a donut. The guy in the middle.
Oh my god.
She said
You guys
everything included said, oh, 47. Sorry.
You guys really made my night. I had to get to bed. I'm so beat in my. You know what's so funny is I've been sitting here chatting with y'all.
Yeah.
My legs, my sunburn on my chest and my legs, it doesn't hurt as bad anymore. So I don't know what you
Oh.
did, but you guys healed that somehow for me because I was in a lot of pain before I joined here.
I have that
glad
effect
you
on women.
What'd you say?
I said I have that effect on women.
Oh my god,
He's
Mr. Rourke, I
funny.
like you. You're
I
funny.
do too.
Thank you.
He is funny.
Did you ever watch my show?
Do you have a show?
Fantasy Island.
Oh.
Oh my god.
My
Oh my
God, you
God.
have to be on the panel for every live stream. Yeah, I feel like that too, and I like the live streams because they do make me feel better, and I'll feel really bad some nights. Get on here and then I feel better.
Yeah,
It's a good
but
thing.
Tracy, call me tomorrow. I don't have
Yeah, because
anything.
I'm gonna go too, actually.
Yeah, I
So
don't have
maybe we can
anything
all
going on
count down
tomorrow.
together, huh?
Yeah, I don't have anything going on tomorrow. So give me when you get up and you get a chance, give me a call, and
Okay,
because
I will.
we haven't chit chatted in a minute, so I want to talk to you. So yeah, I've been busy, and I apologize, but tomorrow's is an open day. So yeah, I
Okay.
wanted to talk to you really bad for a few days now about some stuff. But
Okay, yes, I was like,
Hey,
oh, maybe she doesn't like
Tiffany?
me anymore.
yes,
Please don't share those pictures I sent you.
what'd you send me?
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're gonna get me in
Like,
trouble.
he is funny. So we're gonna do our countdown at the same time right now, so we can
Okay,
say
yeah.
goodbye, good night to everybody. So we go peace,
What are
love,
we
and
counting down from?
tacos, and then we
What are
go
we counting down from?
5,
4,
3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1. Good
Peace,
night,
love, and
everybody.
tacos.
Peace,
Good
love,
night.
tacos. Good night, everyone.